And YouTube, 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Mostly sunny skies for the rest of the day, but it's chilly out there. High temperatures only in the mid-40s, and we're in for a very cold night tonight. 22 degrees under clear skies. Tomorrow is slightly warmer. We'll see sunny skies with highs in the low 50s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones today is down 37 points to 44,745.
Oh, yes, he can. Across the 30. He gets around Connor. Chris Culliver to the other 30, and he's going the distance.
Criswell going to play action on this one. Pump fake. Runs to the left. Criswell leads for the end zone. Touchdown.
Throw a pick. Power Eccles. 10-5. Touchdown, Carolina. Here's Criswell. He'll take off to the right. Now throw. Caught. Back line.
On Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It's a Tuesday. Welcome to the show. As always, I'm Tim Donnelly. Producing the show is Dennis Cox. And UNC still doesn't have a football coach. They have an interim, Freddie Kitchens. Tight ends coach, former Browns head coach. Remember that. He'll be coaching UNC for the bowl game, but that's not the concern. The concern is you don't have your long-term coach in place, and it is very important that you either have your coach in place or you have the direct step-by-step instructions to getting your coach in place as quickly as possible. It's not an exaggeration that something could be happening behind the scenes that should make UNC fans panic. The hard part is that Bubba Cunningham, that athletic director of UNC, has a pretty mean poker face, and we can't quite pin it. But it is very important that Bubba Cunningham and that athletic department is executing a plan in their coaching search and hiring process as we speak. There is zero reason why anybody should be caught off guard by where they are right now. It's even if you weren't sure you were going to fire Mac Brown, even if 2 months ago you're thinking if things go really well and Omarion Hampton wins the Heisman and we're going to the ACC championship, maybe we'll keep him around. Even if that's the case, the guy's 70-something years old. You better have a plan in case he wanted to ride off into the sunset. Who is it and how does the hire get done? Should pretty much already have an answer. Here's what could be happening behind the scenes that would make me go, cool, I'm good. Bubba, you got it. Thumbs up. If he knows who's going to be the head coach, he knows when they are announcing the head coach, and that head coach is covertly behind the scenes assembling a coaching staff and running through his friends in the business saying, hey, hypothetically, if I were to be taking over a program in the Triangle in North Carolina and I were looking for a offensive coordinator, a defensive line coach, would that be something you might be interested in? If that's happening, cool. Bubba Cunningham, project confidence publicly, and everybody chill. If you don't know who your head coach is, if you're still figuring it out, if you're still getting together with the powers that be in a boardroom somewhere, putting names up on a whiteboard and running pros and cons, or you've maybe made the offer to a few different guys only to have, yeah, no, I think I'm going to wait. Yeah, no, I think I'm going to stay. Then urgency and, yes, panic is appropriate. Transfer portal opens in 6 days. December 9th. Your guys can decide to leave the program in 6 days officially. They could decide now and announce it, but they can put their name in that portal 6 days from now.
We've already seen a lot of guys throughout the country saying this is what they're doing.
if I had to guess what's going on at North Carolina right now, is there's a lot of let's see who the new guy is. We talked about this with Duke last year, and I know a few people within the Duke program, friends of a friend of a friend, and they asked for advice when Mike Elko left. And my advice was, well, don't make a decision until you have to. Wait and see who it is. Maybe it's somebody you like. Maybe it's somebody that recruited you at another school out of high school. Maybe it's somebody who runs the same system. Maybe it's somebody that values your skill set and is going to show up and roll out the red carpet for you. Wait. I think that's what's happening at UNC. The question is, how long are they going to be waiting? And can they afford to wait until UNC makes it known? Bubba Cunningham was on the Inside Carolina podcast, and he talked about the timeline for their coaching hire.
I would hope to have it done within a week. That would certainly be my expectation. We get it done by this time next week. We should be done. But that could slide forwards or backwards. Sure. But that would be my hope.
A week. I need to know, are we talking business week? We talking 5 days, which would be pre-portal? I would like it to be sooner than that. Or are you talking 7 days, maybe a long weekend? You're going 7-8 days because that's a whole different beast.
My guess, if he says within a week, this tells me this is somebody that is either a head coach somewhere right now that's in a conference championship game, like let's say the Tulane head coach. Summerall. Who coaches on Friday.
Who is near the betting favorites on all the boards and all the hot lists and candidate searches.
Wait till that game is finished, then you can announce it. That way you can catch the buzz like, oh, like if Tulane just won a conference championship, oh, now he's going to be our coach. Or somebody that has head coaching experience that's on a staff competing this weekend in a conference championship as well.
That is a very, very good possibility. And also, I've had this worry or this kind of conundrum, this rock in a hard place, quandary, if you will, a few times in hiring my coach. Because I would want to hire a coach that cares deeply about the players that he coaches. So if let's just hypothetical, we're talking John Summerall, the head coach at Tulane. I want him to love and care and be completely committed to the players he coaches, because that's the kind of coach I want at my school. So I want him to love and care and be ridiculously committed to his Tulane players, and I want him to want to finish it out, right? Go win the conference championship. Go help them. But then the conundrum is the conference championship is played, the day before the portal opens, and I kind of need him talking to my players, trying to convince them to stay, especially the ones he wants, before that happens. And it becomes that rock in a hard place where, yeah, if you could announce it in 2 or 3 days, that would be much better than in 7-8 days. But if a coach was like, yeah, cool, I'll abandon my team before the conference championship and start re-recruiting the players here, I would go, not sure I want you to be my coach.
Yeah.
That was a little too easy.
Well, the thing at Tulane, their conference championship game is on Friday.
Which helps them a little bit.
Well, so it gives you a couple extra days since Monday next week is when the portal opens.
Which helps them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I also think the parallel, Tulane, that's where Mac Brown was when he came to UNC the first time.
That's true.
Instead of going Mac Brown 2.0 with Mac Brown again, go Mac Brown 2.0 with the Tulane head coach again. It's a whole different beast.
2.1.
Yeah, exactly. Remember those AOL CDs you get for free at like little kiosks? 2.1, 2.2, 3.0. Here's why it's important, and here's why I'm saying the panic would set in if it doesn't happen soon. If there is anything, and I know they're your enemy, but learn from your enemy. If there's anything you can learn from Duke, they replaced their coach, right? A coach everybody liked, but left under different circumstances, but left. If there's anything you can learn from the Manny Diaz deal, you need a big commitment, I would say, by your bowl game. I think the most important thing Manny Diaz did, which led to Duke winning 9 games, maybe 10 games this year, is on the day of their bowl game, which they won, by the way, under an interim head coach. They got a commit from Malik Murphy, 4-star recruit, big name out of Texas, started games for Texas last year, or 2 years ago. Last year. I'm getting my calendar confused. My point is he had started games for Texas. He was a nationally known name. He committed to Duke the day of their bowl game. So if players were like, I'll hang around till the bowl, see what happens, that day they got the nonverbal, hey, it's okay to stay. because people want to come here. We are an attractive destination. UNC, whoever your next coach is, needs to make a splash, do something that says everybody isn't going to be in a mass exodus. It's okay to stay. We are still an attractive destination. Could it be someone, I was looking up their roster for kind of could it be someone like Bryce Nesbitt, who I believe has another year of eligibility and could be an NFL tight end, had kind of an injury season this year? Could it be someone like that saying, no, I'm staying, and that lets everyone else go, whew, all right, yeah, I wanted to stay too, but I don't want to be the only one. You need to get that name. And it needs to be soon because the conveyor belt for college football doesn't slow down for anybody. It is full steam ahead. Next season has already begun. You have to re-recruit your players constantly with the portal. You have to fundraise constantly. Next season has already begun, and every day you don't have a coach, you're falling another step behind. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. Miller Lending, obviously, setting you up with mortgage rates, interest rates. That they want to let you know something. Stop paying to buy down rates, right? Oh, you can spend this much money up front and we can drop your rate by this. We can get you a lower rate. All you have to do is put this money up front and look, you'll save X amount of dollars over 30 years of your mortgage. Well, guess what? You're probably, if you're being honest with yourself, not going to live out the full length of that mortgage. There'll be some time in the next 30 years where rates drop and you want to refinance. There'll be some time in the next 30 years where you want a bigger house, smaller house. You need to move for your job. You need to move closer to family. You want to finally go get that place in the big city. I don't know what you want. I don't know your wants and needs. What I do know is the average mortgage, 4 years. That's how long the average mortgage is held in our country, and it's been that way for decades. So stop paying those massive upfront fees to buy down rates that you won't keep for more than a few or a handful of years. Call Miller Lending. They can walk you through a no closing cost loan that'll cost you not the massive upfront fees, no fees, no closing cost at all. It's a no closing cost loan that is perfect for flexibility when rates drop, and you won't feel like a dummy if your mortgage only lasts 3 years before you're moving out of town. The number to call is 919-447-3377. That's Miller Lending, 919-447-3377. Or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're a couple days late, but it's time for the Carolina Hurricanes quarterly report cards. What grade did we give your favorite player or coach or team or unit? Stick around.
Tonight's forecast calls for Hurricanes hockey.
Natchez heads up. Back to Orlov. He scores! A 1-2 punch from Dmitry Orlov. It's 3-2 on Orlov, second of the game.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Now back to Slavin. He shot right on. Rebounds out in front. Chance up front. They score! Here come the Hats!
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan.
Welcome to the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club Aromatherapy Room. Our first scent is the essence of this month's scratch-offs.
I'm getting notes of anticipation mingled with, cold hard cash.
Anyone else?
Oh, is that tilapia?
Sorry, that's my lunch.
New Diamond 10X and Lotteria are here. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.99 to 4.23. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Drive-through car washes are quick, but a mobile detailer gets to the nitty-gritty. Autobell Car Wash is the sweet spot between both. We quickly clean your car from the inside out to save you time. Get the app at autobell.com.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-291-0628. That's 800-291-0628. 800-291-0628.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer, or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift, or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Roslovic, Walker shot, he scores! From long distance, Sean Walker, his 100th NHL point, his second goal with the Canes, and Carolina down 1. It's a 3-2 game in Raleigh.
Little Club Lenovo music coming out of the break here. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. A couple of games ago, we were a quarter of the way through the NHL season. And the first, I would say, time where you feel comfortable saying, this is a big enough sample size. Somebody's playing well. They're probably playing well. They're not just on a heater.
Usually Thanksgiving is like in the NHL in general, is kind of a marker in terms of, all right, is this team for real or for not? Because last year, 13 of the 16 teams in the playoffs were in the playoffs at the standings in Thanksgiving. So that's the thing. So it's if you're in the playoff picture at Thanksgiving, there's a pretty good chance you're going to be in it actually come April.
And you know, we overuse the phrase probably, right? Anybody can have a good moment. It's in the NHL, anybody can have a good like homestand. Right? Yeah. Anyone can win, 3 of 4, 5 of 6, something like that. But it becomes more difficult to fake it for 20-plus games. And that's kind of the point in the season that you hit at Thanksgiving. So we thought it was a good time to do the same thing, the same logic, only instead of team, make it more specific and give players and whoever else some grades. So Dennis, who are we grading here on our quarterly report cards?
I'm going to go with one of the obvious ones. Let's go Martin Necas.
I mean, this is Martin Necas this year. I went to a high school that had a 4.0 GPA.
Okay.
I didn't even know that other schools allowed you to do like 5.0 or
weighted GPAs.
If you had APs and advanced classes. So, you get to college and someone's like, what was your GPA? And then someo's like, 5.2. And I'm like, what? It's at a 4, buddy. What? That's Martin Necas. He's rolling in with a A 5.2, or that person that was the first to take an SAT 2 test, where it's like you take SATs, math and verbal, and then the extremely bright individuals take like the literature, the history, or the whatever AP or SAT 2s. It's like, oh, what'd you get in the SATs? I got blah blah blah. Oh, I got this and this and this. What is going on here? Martin Necas, I mean, he's second in the league in points. He is a unbelievable hot streak player that just decided to keep the hot streak permanently. So yes, as A+ as you can get for Martin Necas.
Yep, second just behind Kirill Kaprizov from Minnesota in terms of points. Let's go with Andrei Svechnikov. So you do give him an A+?
Yeah, A+, teacher's pet, like whatever you want to call it.
Gold stars.
The kid that doesn't have to take the final because it's like it's only going to knock you down to a 98.5. I'm going to go at Svech. C.
Okay.
C's get degrees, right? Passing. But you definitely expect more. And I'll actually, you know what it is with Svech? It's the kid that has a C but hasn't turned in like a piece of homework. You're looking at him going like, you have so much more potential than this.
Yeah.
If someone were trying as hard as they possibly could and getting the grades that Svech was getting, the teacher would like find a way to boost participation up to get him like the B-, right? Like I'm not going to get you in trouble because, you're doing your best. Svech, it's like, no, you're getting no help here because you have the potential to be so much better. So I'm giving him the C with the hope that he drags that grade up with a renewed sense of purpose in the second 3/4 of the semester.
I feel like early in the season he was playing effective, just the points weren't there, just in terms of his style of play, but the points weren't coming. But I feel like, he's just been kind of little hit and miss at times.
Agreed.
Only 18 points in 24 games so far, and 26 penalty minutes.
Well, that's Svech.
It's a lot.
You're going to get a little of that.
Yeah, you're going to get too much of that, unfortunately. Sebastian Aho.
I mean, we're giving him a A- with the understanding that he's the valedictorian kid that is going to be furious with an A-, and he's going to be hopefully coming in for extra credit, trying to get that A+, and he's mad. What did Necas do that did they do better on the test? Was it the project? I mean, Sebastian Aho is still, as of right now, over a point per game. He is on pace to be just under his career high in points. So, I have loftier goals. He's gonna end the season with an A if we're being honest, but I want to make him sweat a little bit. I'm letting him know there's room for improvement. So, I'm gonna be a tough grader on him, and I'm giving him the A- and expecting him to step it up even further.
All right, head coach Rob Brindamore.
All right, Rod he's a valedictorian as well. He's in grad school, right? He was the valedictorian in undergrad.
I think he's in his doctoral right now.
Yeah, exactly. But he did just turn in a group project, and I want to know who was responsible for the slide that had all the spelling errors. How involved were you in we should roll into the season with Freddie Anderson and Pyotr Kochetkov and maybe not as much depth, or depending on Freddie Anderson, maybe more than you should? If you look at me and go, I did the intro slides, that was Tulski on the goalie slides, then, A+, because I think he's done a really good job. I think he's pulled the right strings as far as mixing up the lineup. It's actually kind of against what we come to think of with the Canes under Rod Brindamore's system. There hasn't been that 15 to 20 game on-ramp where it takes guys to get used to playing in the system. The Roslovics, the Sean Walkers, the Carrier, some of these new guys stepped right in, and Gostisbehere, who's back in the system, but still there was no readjustment. The new guys have played well. So I think Rod's done a really, really good job. There's just that one question of, were you the one saying we should depend on Freddie Anderson? If you tell me no, I'll believe you. You're a trustworthy student. You've never caught you doing anything wrong. So be honest with me. But no, I'm not holding against him too much. It's either an A or an A+.
Yeah, they're fourth best in points percentage in the entire NHL with all these new pieces and stuff that are coming in. Speaking of one of the new faces, Jackson Blake, the rookie.
Jackson Blake, I am giving like an A-.
Okay.
And part of it is kind of what I've been saying with these other guys. I think there's room to improve, but another rookie might, with the same effort, might get a higher grade. I'm soft launching a Rookie of the Year campaign for Jackson Blake.
He's one of the tops in the NHL in scoring amongst rookies.
He is.
If not the top right now.
I think he's third in goals. He's 7th or 8th in points, but he's doing so with like 4 minutes less per game of average ice time than those above him playing for other teams that maybe don't have the production and veteranship around them. So I'm soft launching it now. We haven't come up with like a campaign slogan and printed buttons, but we're getting estimates on how much the buttons are going to cost. Like, we're thinking about it. So before we campaign him for student body president, he's got to keep the grades up a little bit more. But through the first quarter of the season, he's an A- guy.
Okay, final one here. General Manager Eric Tulsky. First-year GM.
First-year GM. I'm going B+.
B+?
I love, and he actually surprised me with so many of, like Jack Roslovic is the perfect example. You see the signing and everyone's kind of like, huh. And then he shows up and he's scoring, a goal every other game on average. Bringing Gostisbehere back. It felt like he was going to be the calculator guy with all the advanced analytics, and he's actually nailed like a lot of the personality fits. Not to mention, getting Seth Jarvis on a long-term deal and so much more. And understanding that Martin Necas should stay on the team and shouldn't be traded. So there's so much good. I just keep coming back to the goalie situation. And I'm not even saying like I was advocating preseason, like, oh, you need to fix the goalie. But it's one of those deals where once you get here, you're like, we should have saw this coming, right? It's the point in the movie where, Ocean's 11, where they show you how they did the heist, and you're like, how did I miss all these clues? They were right there in front of me. Of course that's how it happened. But me as a viewer, I'm not supposed to, see all the clues. He as a GM he's watching it, looking for the clues. So if the goalie over the last 2 weeks hadn't kind of made me a little sketchy, it'd be a higher grade. But B+ is nothing to be shy about, nothing to be ashamed of, and still plenty of time left in the semester to get that grade up as high as you want it.
Yeah, I would say if not B+, A-, because the roster as a whole,
I could be
pretty sorry. I'd say A- for Eric Tulsky.
All right, my TAs convinced me.
Yeah,
he came in and he's actually that question, that essay question, you were a little harsh. It should have been. I'll go A-, like a 90.7.
Yeah, it's like from an 89 to a 91.
Yeah, boosted it. We found that paper that I thought you didn't turn in. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9.
Oh,
the
he
Fan.
did do his homework.
Yeah, that's on me. Spilled my coffee on it while I was grading it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the Canes quarterly report card. Maybe if we have some time, we'll do some more of those. That was a fun deal. Speaking of quarterly report cards, we've been doing the thesis statement to talk college sports at 3:30 every day. We did it for a month. I'm seeing if we can do better. I'm looking to get one step better. I still want to talk college sports at 3:30 every day, which is our next segment, but we're changing it up. We're hitting the Dean's List. Who made the Dean's List from the college teams that we cover here on The Drive? Stick around.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. I call games in Seattle and around the country, but I still spend a lot of time right here in the Triangle. When I'm here to see my family around the holidays, we always head to Buffalo Brothers. It's my go-to spot for stocking stuffers. Now through December 24th, buy a $40 gift card for someone special and get a $10 gift card for you. Now that's a deal, baby. Visit any of their 5 locations at buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Terms and conditions apply.
Is your plumbing outdated or just not getting the job done?
Call Newcomb & Company to see how we can help get your home operating at peak performance. Our experienced plumbers can repair or replace faucets, toilets, piping, garbage disposals, water heaters, drain cleaning, and more. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company. Your comfort is our business.
Stop letting high interest debt weigh you down. Pay it all off in days thanks to Loan Pronto's new Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox from my friends at Loan Pronto. Imagine a completely hassle-free way to cash out your home equity. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan uses AI-driven tech to get you approved for cash out in as little as 1 day. One client got $100,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their debt, launched a home improvement project, and is now saving over $1,000 a month. Instant approvals, low fixed rates, fast transfers. Get cash to consolidate all your debt and get a fresh start for the new year. Call Loan Pronto now and see how much you qualify for. Imagine this time next week, you could be credit card debt-free. Call 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Gift an icon this holiday season, the Omega Speedmaster, known as the Moonwatch. This legendary timepiece made history as the only watch selected by NASA to withstand the extreme environment of space and was worn by the legendary astronauts on the first journey to the moon. With its timeless design and unmatched durability, the Omega Speedmaster continues to inspire adventure seekers worldwide. Find your perfect Speedmaster at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, voted best jeweler. Learn more at baileybox.com.
Here's Brandon with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Tired of waiting for a sleep treatment? At other sleep centers, it can take 6 to 8 months just to get an appointment and cost you thousands more. Not Parkway Sleep Health Centers. We schedule you within weeks and we'll save you money too. We have over 20 years of experience serving the Triangle. Let our expert team help you sleep better sooner.
End your sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep. Sound health.
Adam Golden Studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. When I say everything for the exterior of your home, I mean it. So tell me everything that you have for the exterior of my home.
There's so many things I can't even remember the entire list. You know,
Good
it's
luck.
like thanks for the test here. But windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters, gutter guards, railings, you name it. We have the exterior home improvement you're looking for. The main thing is we're a one-stop shop, right? So you don't have to call 2 or 3 different contractors if you need your roof done and you need your windows done. You can call one company and have it all done.
I like that. French doors.
French doors.
I like French doors. I can't speak French, but I like French doors. Can I tell you, back in the day, you guys did French doors and every window in a home I used to own.
Well, thank you for your business.
It was incredible. Can I also tell you that it was done in like 2 days? Is that even possible?
It is possible.
How do you guys do work that fast?
We're good.
You're
We're
fast.
good.
That's Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. They do the best work in the industry and the best customer service in the industry as well. AluminumCompany.com.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I've got some good news for college basketball fans out there.
Go on.
Sometime before the top of the hour, so it's sometime before 4 o'clock, we will be giving away Duke basketball tickets. And not only Duke basketball tickets, it's not like they're just playing some schlub of a non-conference game. Does anybody say that? Does anybody say schlub? They're playing Auburn, who is the number 2 team in the country. So this is a top 10 matchup tomorrow, 9:15, Cameron Indoor, number 9 Duke, number 2 Auburn. We have a pair of tickets, and they will be given away on this show sometime before 4. So you have to stay listening. That's how we get you. That's the rub. Got to stay and enjoy the show. So sometime before 4, Duke versus Auburn, pair of tickets will go to one of you out there on the call-in line. So stick around. In the meantime, it's time for the first ever Dean's List. Dean's List is exactly what you think it is. It is those student athletes from the teams that we cover that are exemplary, that are Dean's List worthy, that have done something to draw the attention of and the spotlight from our show. And it could be on any given day, one person ends up being the main Dean's Lister, and we go ahead and highlight them and what they've done to earn that recognition. Could be a handful, could be a unit, could be a whole team. The Dean's List. Every day about this time. For the meantime, it's going to be replacing thesis statement. We can also go back and see how it goes, but we're trying to make this show better for you every day.
You know, we're approaching the end of the semester.
We're approaching the end of the semester. The teacher's really locking in, right? All right, we got standardized testing coming up. We need to make sure we're at our best. So we're trying this out. Let us know what you think. Always looking for feedback. First member of the Dean's List from my selections.
Okay.
Michael O'Connell, NC State point guard.
Okay.
Their last 2 games, NC State, 2 losses, almost identical scores, 71-61 to Purdue, top 15 team in the country, 72-61 loss to BYU, who's a very, very solid non-conference opponent. Against Purdue, Michael O'Connell had 6 points in 36 minutes. Against BYU, he had 16 points in 36 minutes. Played the exact same amount of time, which is a ton. He's running marathons out there. He's necessary for NC State. But he sensed what was needed, right? Sensed, all right, maybe the scores from last game aren't getting going, or maybe part of the reason why we didn't close the gap against Purdue is because I wasn't aggressive enough looking for my own shot. Adding 10 points, by the way, just adding 5 shots, so it's a ridiculously effective and efficient 10 more points to your scoring total. It opens up everything. When he's not just a table setter, he's also somebody sitting at the table looking to eat. Makes them a much better team. Makes them a much more difficult to guard team. So he made the Dean's List for the improvement. Do you have somebody? I have 3 I want to throw on the Dean's List.
I might have someone on my Dean's List that might be on yours. Do you
Okay.
have Amarian Hampton on yours?
I do not.
I have Amarian Hampton on my Dean's List because when you carry the ball 22 times for 185 yards and a touchdown and also catch 4 passes for 78 yards and a touchdown, yeah, you make the Dean's List.
Yeah.
When you do it in a rivalry game, you word Carolina's offense, basically. That's all I have to say.
He also should get like the perfect attendance award because he always shows up.
Yep.
He's wildly consistent.
It's amazing that you know the guy's getting the ball and other teams know it. We all know it. It's not like the other coaches don't know it either. Yet he still produces.
Yep.
Amazing.
I have one of his teammates on the Dean's List.
Okay.
Chris Culliver.
Okay,
UNC
yeah.
wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the Shaquille O'Neal meme where he's like, I apologize, I was not familiar with your game. Chris Culliver, you played in just 5 games this season. Coming into the rivalry game to earn bragging rights against NC State, you had 4 catches for 39 yards on the season. On back-to-back plays for UNC's offense, he had a 50-yard touchdown catch, and then on the first play of the next drive for their offense, he had a 46-yard catch. 2 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown on 3 targets. Talk about be ready so you don't have to get ready. That offense has a lot of guys that can catch the football. They haven't really been utilized a ton, but McCollum and J.J. Jones and Copenhaver and Omarion Hampton out of the backfield, and like they've got some Kobe Paysor, they've got some dudes. So Culliver, who a former 4-star, hadn't really been leaned on. And then his number was called kind of in a crucial moment against your rival, made the catch, scored the touchdown. And then they went, are you catching your breath? Is your head spinning? Are you worried about how cool that replay is going to look? Here's another 46-yarder. Make the catch, make the play. I'm proud of him for being ready. Last one, similar but a little different. Duke basketball, which, by the way, sometime before the end of the hour, we will be giving away Duke versus Auburn tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Evans, Duke guard, freshman.
Yeah. Talk about shoot or shoot.
That's exactly what it is. He is part of that vaunted freshman class with Cooper Flagg, obviously, Con Knipple, Kamen Malawash. Evans hasn't even played in the big games. When they're playing the ranked opponents, he gets the old did not play coach's decision. But he has gotten in against Army and Wofford and Seattle University most recently. And when he gets in the game, scorer's going to score. He gets shots up. And I respect it because, and this happens at schools like Duke, like UNC, like a few others. You probably could have gone anywhere in the country and been a starting leading scorer with your recruiting pedigree. You went to Duke where you're not even getting burned in some games, not getting any time off the bench in some games. But all you can do is when you do get the opportunity is put something in your coach's mind about what you're able to do. And I wonder if John Shire won't have a point in time in a big game where the main rotation is just dead and they're looking for a microwave offense and they need 6 quick points. He won't look down and be like, hey, Isaiah, it's on you, bud. And he gets to go in and let it fly because he's shown, hey, when I get in the game, I don't care if I haven't played for a half and 7 more minutes. I'm getting in the game. I don't got to get warm. I'm always warm. So I'm excited for his future based on what he's done in some quote-unquote cupcake games.
I was at the game at Wofford, and as soon as he stepped on the floor and just started shooting, you're like, oh, this guy, he clearly knows what he wants in terms of I want this spacing, the ball in this spot, and I know exactly what I'm going to do with it as soon as I get it here. And I don't know about his complete game. It was kind of hard to tell against Wofford. He definitely has the length.
Yes.
But he has the shooting. I don't know about his all-around game quite yet. Maybe that's just what still needs to be developed. But if there is an injury that happens to Duke, no problem with that guy sliding into the rotation.
Not as far as scoring. You're right. There's probably and I mean based on his scoring prowess, there better be understanding of where to be on defense or a ball handling or a rebound, something that John Shire isn't comfortable having him out there on the floor against the ranked opponents. But I mean, 9 points against Seattle in 17 minutes, 14 points in 12 minutes against Wofford, 6 points in 9 minutes against Army. When he gets in, shots are going up, and I respect it. Thus, he makes the Dean's List.
Love it.
So that's what it's going to be. We're just highlighting. I like to appreciate the good when so much of sports media is about the negative. Dean's List, we're appreciating the good around the triangle and around college sports. Speaking of appreciating the good around the triangle and around college sports, we need to pass out some ACC Football Awards.
Which I believe at 4 o'clock they're actually officially going to be announced today.
At least the all ACC team will get the awards kind of that we're going to name here, and we've added a few others later on in the week. But the college football regular season is over. How quick.
That's wild.
It gone in a blink.
Wow.
I mean, literally, although not literally. So we decided with the regular season in the rearview mirror, we're going to award Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. By the way, Player of the Year might as well be Offensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Best Surprise, and Biggest Disappointment. Dennis, you lead off. Who do you have for Coach of the Year?
Rhett Lashley, SMU.
Yep, me too.
By the way, if SMU did not have the season they had, my number 2 on my list, my second place vote, would be Manny Diaz, without a doubt. But Rhett Lashley, you come in from a group of 5 into the ACC, and you go 11-1, and you win the conference regular season, you're playing for a championship, and also a shot at the college football playoff, easily. This is one of the easiest decisions you ever can make when it comes to Coach of the Year.
I agree, and I'm going to single out one more thing. Everything you said I have in my notes, so replay what Dennis said, and I second it. If you go back to ACC tip-off, or ACC kickoff, sorry.
Kickoff, yeah, back in July.
We were there getting ready for football season, and we're trying to learn about SMU. We're trying to learn about Cal, learn about Stanford. The one thing that everybody kind of leaned on when hyping up SMU was this quarterback by the name of Preston Stone. Stone had thrown for 3,200 yards for SMU last year, and their offense, led by Rhett Lashley, was gonna be the thing that carried them in their new conference. Well, they came out. Do you remember their first game of the year? It was on, I think it might have been a Week 0 game against Nevada.
Yeah.
So everybody was watching, and it was a hideous game. They won, but it was gross
We were
over
all
Nevada.
Like, y'all were hyping up this squad?
And that's exactly what it was. We were all going, wait a second. You had us going for a second. And then Rhett Lashley made a really, really tough coach's decision. And he benched Preston Stone for Kevin Jennings, who was not like a new guy that they were just waiting for the opportunity to start. He was the backup last year. And they put him into the game. He led him in passing every other game. Preston Stone obviously got in a few times, as you do during a football season. But Kevin Jennings has led them to that 11-1 record with their only loss to BYU. And that's a tough decision. It's not quite, but it is along the same lines of Saban at halftime of the national championship saying, Jalen Hurts, you're out, Tua's in, and then Tua led him to the comeback. Again, not the same, but you really have to be willing to, dig your heels in and say, I know what I'm doing here to make that change that early in a season, and it worked out perfectly. So, Coach of the Year, Rhett Lashley. Player of the Year, just because I know who Dennis is going with, and I'm not. Dennis, go ahead and go first.
Cam Ward.
Oh, then we did go with the same.
We did go with the same. You thought I was going to go with Amari Hampton, didn't you?
I did, because earlier today at the cubicles, you were like, I bet we're going to go with the same Offensive Player of the Year, and I thought you were obviously hinting at Omari Hampton, but I went Cam Ward.
That's why also one of the reasons why I put Omari Hampton on my Dean's list, because of everything he's done this season. But to me, Offensive Player of the Year is Cam Ward. One of the best offenses in the entire country, and the numbers he put up were just completely stupid. And guess what? If the offense didn't score 30 points, they lost because their defense doesn't exist. I looked for them. I could never find them. They have defensive players listed on their roster. Not sure they're real people.
They live at the same place the Bengals defense lives.
Wherever that is.
It's Neverland or Oz. Shout out to Wicked, huh? How topical.
Look at you.
I did write in my notes, it should be Omari and Hampton, but UNC didn't back him up. And I think for Offensive or Defensive Player of the Year, you need a certain level of team success. Mm-hmm. And Omari and Hampton, squeaking into bowl eligibility, it's not there. Cam Ward being a top 15, hopefully top 11 team in the country, you get the nod in a close race for me.
He definitely should be first team all conference.
Omari Hampton's, I think both of them are probably All-Americans.
Yeah.
I mean, Cam Ward is statistically as good as anyone out there, and Omari and Hampton, assuming there's two running backs on the first team All-American team, it's Genty and Omari and Hampton for me. Genty from Boise State. Defensive Player of the Year, Dennis, where are you going?
Donovan Ezeraku, Boston College, led the conference in sacks and tackles for loss, 16.5 sacks, 20.5 tackles for a loss, 3 forced fumbles as well. Especially when you're the guy like Amari Hampton, he's getting the ball. Donovan Ezeraku, you know what that guy's going to do. Hey, block him. Still found a way to get it done. Ezeraku.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong? Who you going with?
I have Ezeraku and Jonas Sanker from Virginia as guys who I would be A-okay with them being the Defensive Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. I went with Kyle Lewis from Pitt.
Okay.
Just the guy that put up so many stats, did a little bit of everything. Pitt had a little run there at the beginning of the year where they did have the team success I was looking for. I know they ended up one game below Boston College in the standings, but I think they were a kind of contender for longer. Boston College, the defense didn't back up Ezeraku. I'm a big fan of Ezeraku. I think he's going to be an NFL guy. We've talked to him the last couple of years at ACC kickoff, and he's a nice dude. But the Pitt linebacker just kind of got it done for me.
It wouldn't surprise me if Ezeraku was like a third-round pick from somewhere and ends up with like 7 sacks his rookie year.
And week 15, like a 2-sack performance, and everyone's like, is this guy good? And we're like, we've been saying it all year.
Yeah, we told y'all.
We have to get to the rookies. And we got to pick up the pace a little bit here. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Isaac Brown, Louisville running back. 5th overall in the ACC in rushing yards, just under 1,100. He had the best yards per carry among all running backs that had over 100 attempts. He had 7.3.
That's big.
7.3. The next highest was Bayshul Tootin at Virginia Tech at 6.3.
Mm-hmm.
Also had 12 total touchdowns, 11 on the ground, and also 1 receiving as well. Again, the 1,074 yards only came on 147 carries. Talk about efficient for a rookie year.
Good pass catcher, too.
Yeah.
I really like Isaac Brown. I went C.J. Bailey.
Okay.
I went C.J. Bailey, obviously true freshman quarterback for NC State. I don't hold Rookie of the Year to the same standard as like your team better be good because you're just a rookie, you're not Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
He's right behind Kyle McCord of Syracuse in passer rating. Kyle McCord has played the biggest games in college football at Ohio State, and C.J. Bailey showed up on campus like a month ago. So it just he might be the best true freshman quarterback in the country, and at that position being that valuable, I had to go quarterback, and maybe it's me being biased towards quarterback, but heck, I'll wear it on my sleeve. I am biased positively towards quarterbacks, but I do love Isaac Brown as well from Louisville. He's my runner-up. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Sammy Brown, Clemson, 56 tackles this year, also had 5 sacks as a freshman at Clemson.
I don't know what the criteria is. Patterson, the freshman nickel from Wake.
Okay.
He played in 3 games last year, but he's still a freshman, so I'm counting him as a rookie. And that's where I'm going with it. 74 tackles, an interception, a forced fumble, 3 passes defensed. He kind of did everything. Obviously, gets swept under the rug at Wake, but I really liked his game. And the games I watched of Wake, which were most of them, he was most likely to kind of pop. And then you see he's a freshman, and you're like, ooh. If I were Wake, I would make sure that Roll the Quad Collective has his number and his direct deposit information. Also, O.J. Frederick Jr. from Miami is an option there. Maybe not the statistics, but a corner for Miami playing a lot of snaps. You're going to get
3 interceptions this year, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I can vividly see one in my mind's eye, but he gets tested a lot. I think 7 or 8 passes defense this year. It's a good play. Best surprise. This is our own kind of award. All those awards we just went over, they are going to be given out by the ACC. Media votes on it. Those are the deal. We've added best surprise and biggest disappointment just to spice it up for us here on the show. Dennis, what is your best surprise of the ACC regular season football 2024 year?
It's SMU. To me, it's SMU, and honestly, I put right behind that Duke winning 9 games. Mm-hmm. That was very, very close for me, but I know SMU, I think, was the 5th betting favorite going into the year in terms of winning the ACC, and I'm like, all right, like some people are maybe overhyping this, and I was like, wait a second, they keep winning. Now I'm all go Stangs. Go Stangs, make the college football playoff, even if you don't beat Clemson on Saturday. Go Stangs. I'm all in on the Stangs.
I admit I kind of cheated.
How dare.
I took best surprise as best for me.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fair.
My best surprise is Florida State absolutely stinks.
Yes.
After their
entire
offseason of wanting to leave and we're too good and, oh, woe is me. They were a preseason top 10 team in the country. At not like top of the AC, like preseason, one of the 10 best teams according to the voters in the country. They finished dead last in the ACC in points per game by more than a touchdown. They were more than 7 points worse than than the second worst team in the ACC. They gave up the most rushing yards allowed. They had that vaunted defensive line, all these big blue chip everythings. They gave up the most rushing yards by any defense in the ACC by 30 yards a game, roughly.
Love it.
My best surprise is just like, oh, yeah, is that what you thought? Because that ain't how it's going to be. Biggest disappointment, last one here. What are you looking at?
Biggest disappointment is only one of the ACC schools here in the state of North Carolina had above 500 record. That's disappointing to me.
That hits.
That's extremely disappointing.
Stings.
Yes. So I put this
facts
on Carolina, I put it on State, and I put it on Wake. Now, Wake finishing below 500 wasn't super shocking, but I was like, maybe they go 6-6.
Yeah,
State we had high expectations for, and for Carolina, I had high expectations. I thought Carolina could have won 8 games this season.
Wake Forest, realistically, I mean, bowl expectations every year. I don't think that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest disappointment is the trio of Casey Concepcion, Jordan Waters, and Grayson McCall at NC State. They were supposed to be the trio. They were supposed to be like the Cowboys called them the triplets in the 90s.
Yeah.
The new quarterback, obviously NIL money spent. The new running back, obviously NIL money spent. Casey Concepcion returning, obviously NIL money spent. Jordan, the offense never became the sum of its parts. They never fit together. I like what Justin Jolie did. Noah Rogers had some flashes. Whether it's injuries, maybe not the right roles, maybe system fit, maybe their individual level of play, they drops and fumbles and the like. It just never came together, and that's frustrating to me. And now with obviously Grayson McCall retired, Jordan Waters exhausting his eligibility, Casey Concepcion expected to enter the transfer portal, it's like we're never going to get to see what that ceiling was. We're just going to have a whole bunch of what ifs for what could have been a really exciting offense. So biggest disappointment for me is that triumvirate trio for the Wolfpack. As promised, it is time to give away some tickets. Duke versus Auburn men's basketball tomorrow, Cameron Indoor Stadium. It is number 9 in the country, Duke, looking to upset at home a non-conference opponent, number 2 in the country, Auburn. I promised sometime before the top of the hour we'd give away the tickets. Well, the top of the hour is nearing, so we'll open up the phone lines. Heister Automotive Group hotline. What do you think, Dennis? Caller number 9?
Yeah, caller number 9 works.
Caller number 9.
Duke's ranked 9th. We're 99.9. Let's go.
A lot of 9s. 919 is how the deal starts here. The number to call, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Caller number 9 wins a pair of tickets to tomorrow's game. Duke, Auburn. Duke's hosting. Should be a wildly electric college basketball environment. And if you want to be there, caller number 9, 919-860-5326. Football 4 is coming up next. If we get those all ACC teams, we'll pass those along. Go ahead and stick around.
Move your sports day forward.
There's no teeter-tottering on this one. Bryce Young is an NFL quarterback. You don't need that proven to you any bit more. The conversation should no longer be about Bryce Young, I'm sorry to say. For those of you who want to harp on Bryce Young, search out the words Bryce Young and is he bad? Is he good? If you're looking for the clout has ended.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's Tim Donnelly for Window Nation. It's Window Nation's end-of-the-year sale. Get 50% off all styles of windows and a bonus 10% off. Plus, you could get 0 interest for 6 years. Sale ends December 31st, so book a quote at 866-90Nation or at windownation.com.
Hey guys, this is Marcy Bailey from Bailey's Fine Jewelry, and we know that you want to get your wife or girlfriend something special this Christmas. But sometimes you just don't know what to get. You wonder, what will she like? What will make her feel special? What will make her say, wow? At Bailey's Fine Jewelry, we have experts that are here to help. We specialize in making you look like a hero. You can even send her in to make a wish list that we keep on file to help make your life just a little bit easier. Bailey's has the largest selection of jewelry in North Carolina, including designers like David Yurman, Lagos, Marco Bichigo, and Apolita, as well as beautifully curated Bailey's collections. And don't fret, because if for some reason she doesn't love your gift, we have a 30-day return policy. Our goal is to be your go-to jeweler for life. Bailey's Fine Jewelry, located in Raleigh's Village District, Crabtree Valley Mall, and Cary's Fenton. Also in Rocky Mount and Greenville. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Introducing a product that redefines living well.
Luxury.
Designed to satisfy your wildest desires.
Extravagance.
Overflowing with suspense, dripping with wealth.
Fortune.
The $8 million moneymaker from the North Carolina Education Lottery. With prices that start at $100 and go up to $8 million. Every win's a big win.
Whisper.
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.14. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as, bro.
And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Classes available online or in person. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted.
Not available in Washington State.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. Make your first NBA bet a swish with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel has all your favorite bets, from who will win the game to how many points a player will score. Check out newer bets like the number of dunks, assists, or three-pointers in the next 3 minutes. It doesn't matter if you tap into FanDuel before the game starts or after it's already tipped off. You can pick up a dub whenever. And now is the perfect time to get in on the action. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul and get a chance to score $150 in bonus bets. Have a ball, betting ball with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score! WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on the radio, Instagram, TikTok, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Mostly sunny skies for the rest of the day, but it's chilly out there. High temperatures only in the mid-40s, and we're in for a very cold night tonight. 22 degrees under clear skies. Tomorrow is slightly warmer. We'll see sunny skies with highs in the low 50s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is down 76 points today to 44,705.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Literally, let me go ahead and find the exact. It was 29 seconds ago. My inbox was graced with the presence of the 2024 All ACC football teams.
There it is. I got it as well.
There is some reacting we need to do, and we're going to do it live with you. This is one of those times where we don't have any information prior to you receiving that information. How about this? Just reading the intro. We haven't even gotten to the names yet. Miami had the most first-team honorees with 4. That's fine.
Makes sense.
SMU, Miami, and wait a second.
You said SMU, Miami, Duke.
There's a typo right here in the first deal here.
How dare.
Miami had the most honorees with 4. Then they have SMU, Miami, and Duke all finished tied for second. So I'm guessing that's SMU and Duke tied for second. But I'm burying the lead here. Who cares about the typo? Duke has the second most first-team honorees all ACC this season. Another accomplishment to put on the resume of Manny Diaz and that unit that has kept Duke and the momentum going despite Mike Elko and Riley Leonard and Aeneas Peoples and so many departing. Looking at the first team here, no surprise. I'll try to hit the local players first. Omarion Hampton, I believe 207 votes. That's unanimous as a first-team running back. He is joined by Brashard Smith from SMU at the running back position. Willie Lampkin, offensive guard from North Carolina, also a first-teamer, 133 votes. And unless I'm missing something, that's it for the first-team offense locally. First team defense has Duke corner Chandler Rivers, who quietly had a very, very good season.
Yeah.
Probably not talked about enough on shows like ours. And that's it on the first team defense. So 2 North Carolina on the first team offense, 1 for Duke on the first team defense. So also earlier, that stat I gave you is not just first team honorees, must be all first, second, and third team honorees that Duke was second at.
SMU, Miami, and Duke all finished second among conference teams with 8 selections. Clemson led all schools with 10 all-ACC selections.
Ah, Clemson was the big winner. But still, Duke's second, tied with Miami. Second team all-ACC offense, looking for local. Omarion Hampton made it as an all-purpose back.
Yeah.
So Omarion Hampton, this is not an exaggeration. This is hilarious. Omarion Hampton, who I've been screaming UNC can't get the ball to him enough, was first-team running back and second-team all-purpose back. He was both first and second-team all-ACC. You should have given him the ball, the serving for 2, right? He gets 2 plates going through the buffet. Also on that second-team offense, Duke offensive tackle Brian Parker. I thought we might see him on the first team. And Caleb Kings, offensive guard for Duke, also making the second-team all-ACC offense.
Props to them.
Props to them replacing NFL guys because that offensive line lost Jacob Monk, lost Graham Barton, guys that went on to the NFL. Graham Barton is a starter in the NFL for Tampa. Offensive line.
Saw him
center.
Sunday.
They just have two guys slide in and immediately become elite within the conference is huge for Duke. This is becoming – can we just say that the postseason awards for the ACC have become a love fest on Duke and Omarion Hampton?
Pretty much.
Duke and Omarion Hampton.
And there's more Duke and more Omarion Hampton. Especially second-team defense.
Second-team defense. We have Duke, defensive tackle Kendi Charles. Similarly, Aeneas Peoples, a future NFL defensive tackle for Duke last year, transferred to Virginia Tech when the coaching change happened. And
Dwayne Carter went to the NFL as well, got drafted because he was out of eligibility.
And Kendi Charles steps in and is a second-team all-ACC defensive tackle.
That Duke defense was really good.
Yeah, and Terry Moore, safety, Duke, second-team all-ACC.
Branson Combs, linebacker from Wake Forest, also second-team on defense as well.
Wake Forest getting their first recognition. Down there on the third-team offense, as we continue to react, Damon Claiborne of Wake Forest. I did see somebody, it may have even been Dave Clawson, wasn't happy with how long the Miami coaches talked to Damon Claiborne after their game.
Huh.
Like, hey, are you just saying good game, or are you saying things with winks and nods? Duke, Jordan Moore, third-team all-ACC. Obviously, he wasn't 100% all season. If he was, I think he ends up higher. Eli Pankel, upperclassman for Duke, splashing onto the scene this year. Another wide receiver. So 2 of the 3 third-team all-ACC wide receivers coming from Duke. Wake Forest, Damon Claiborne is both the third-team running back and all-purpose back.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to see why maybe Wake Forest would like to keep their hands on that guy. NC State with their first appearance. Zeke Correll, the transfer from Notre Dame, third-team center. He was a 2-year starter at Notre Dame. Came in the portal to the Wolfpack. Third-team defense, Davin Van. Found another typo. They called him Darren Van.
Oh, how dare.
I wouldn't want to insult Davin Van. That guy is a massive human that can do backflips and stuff. Crazy athlete. Defensive end, he's on the third team. North Carolina, Jabari Ritzie on the third-team defensive tackle. He's got some of the best highlights for a defensive tackle anywhere in the country. Ozzie Nicholas, Duke linebacker, third team. And Wake Forest safety Nick Anderson, also third team. That is, I'm going to say, that's a solid representation for the Triangle squads and Wake Forest.
Yeah, on first, second, third team.
I don't see too many that I'm screaming are snubs. Are there some that maybe I thought would have the opportunity to perhaps sneak onto the third team? Sure. But none that I'm too angry about.
Scrolling through, there's a bunch of honorable mentions as
Whole
well.
bunch of them.
Scrolling through that as well, like Taylor Morin, the wide receiver from Wake Forest.
I thought Alex Howard, the linebacker from Duke, could have been another representation of that Duke defense. He's honorable mention.
Tackle Howard Sampson from North Carolina, honorable mention as well.
I have a snub for someone that didn't even get to be an honorable mention.
Timothy McKay, offensive guard, NC State, honorable mention.
I thought Justin Jolie at State did enough to at least be an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Not even getting that recognition is a little surprising to me. Taylor Morin, again, a guy who just, that Wake Forest offense never really gave him enough, but he made enough big plays to warrant some contention. There's some good wide receivers in the conference.
Power Eccles, honorable mention, linebacker from North Carolina.
It's another one. I think he came in with maybe higher expectations this season than he lived up to, but it's appropriate to name him as you just did.
Again, we're reacting to all this in real time. We literally got the inbox drop right at 4:00.
I rarely do this for awards. Solid.
Yeah.
Normally there's somebody that I'm very upset about. Normally there's somebody, because, I make this speech all the time as well. I don't think it's pointless. I hate people that are like, it's just awards. Who cares? Oh, these voters don't know what they're talking about. Who cares? I'll tell you who cares. The players.
Yeah.
The players care a bunch. They work really, really hard, and they want to be acknowledged for that work, and they want, to, when they come back for alumni outings, they want to have their glory days be commemorated the appropriate way, and it's cooler to say like all ACC pick rather than like honorable mention. So I do think it's important, but I also think there are shades of gray, and everybody has their different opinions. I don't see any egregious issues with the all ACC teams. We'll see if I agree as much with the awards, meaning Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, Rookies of the Year, when they come out later this week. But for my initial gut reaction, I don't see anything too infuriating, if you will. Cam Ward and Omarion Hampton were the unanimous selections.
They're the highest vote getters of anybody. But there's also, like, if you didn't vote for them, like, what are you doing?
Yes.
What are you watching?
What are you trying to prove?
Yeah. Like, what was this, the Baseball Hall of Fame? I'm not going to vote Ricky Henderson in because,
I don't like Cam Ward because he transferred. Like, if that's where you're living, move.
And kick rocks.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of moving, if that's where you're living, if you do move and you need a mortgage, you need to call Miller Lending. Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending, and, of course, that includes Gordon Miller. When you close on a mortgage with Miller Lending, it's an important small detail that you need to remember. That's just your next payment, not your forever payment. Talk with some mortgage lenders. They want to explain this is going to be your monthly payment for every month from now until the end of 30 years. And Miller Lending is going, whoa. What if rates drop 2 weeks from now? What if you want to lock in that rate and get a lower monthly rate 2 months from now, 2 years from now, sometime before the end of 30 years? Well, if that happens, Miller Lending will be waiting for you because they have something called a no closing cost loan. It allows you the flexibility to refinance over and over and over again if rates drop and if they're lower than they are now, sometime in the near future, distant future, whenever it is, because that closing cost doesn't hold you back, right? You don't have to bring cash out of your pocket every time you want to refinance. That's the beauty of a no closing cost loan. If rates drop, refinance with no costs, and if rates go up, you already locked in the rate that you had before, so you don't have to worry about that either. There's really, you're protected coming and going. You're trying to move forward while protecting your blind side. Sports analogies. It's all happening at Miller Lending. If you want more information, give them a call. The number is 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2502146. We'll take a break. When we come back, ladder challenge. Dennis tries to stay hot. And copper drop. And you all need to get ready because Kane's first goal scorer predictions are coming up. Kane's first goal scorer predictions with a chance for you to win an ultimate racing experience simply by picking who's going to score the first goal for the Canes and in what period they will score it. So much to get to, and it's all coming up next right here on The Drive.
Tonight's forecast calls for Hurricanes hockey.
Natchez heads up. Back to Orlov. He scores! A 1-2 punch from Dmitry Orlov. It's 3-2 on Orlov, second of the game.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Back to Slavin. He shot right on. Rebounds out in front. Chance out front. They score! Here come the Hats!
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan.
It's bow time. 'Tis the season for food and family, but thanks to Bojangles, you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen when loved ones come home for the holidays. Set down the spatula and put away the mixing bowls, because this holiday season, Bojangles is ready to help you celebrate with all your family favorites like Chicken Supreme, Cajun Filet Biscuits, or a big bow box of hand-breaded chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and fixins for the whole family. We'll make the food so you can focus on making memories. Head to Bojangles and gift yourself a taste of home. It's bow time.
If it's ho-ho-ho time, it's Bo-Bo-Bo time. Time to order a party-sized platter of that bodacious Bojangles flavor before your next holiday celebration. Choose a Bojangles Supremes platter and get 50 whole breast tenderloin fillets. Or go with a Bojangles dessert platter and get 2 dozen Bo-Berry biscuits, 2 dozen cinnamon twists, or 1 dozen of each. It's a platter full of Bo-liciousness. And don't forget to pick up Bojangles gift cards. Just the right gift for anyone on your list. Hurry, it's Bo time.
A new game has landed in North Carolina. Officials are calling this new species of game Cash Pop. So easy to play, it's out of this world. Reports confirm you just pick and match one number to win up to $2,500. With 5 drawings every day, cash landings have been sighted across the state. So be on the lookout for Cash Pop from the North Carolina Education Lottery. The wins are out there. Must be 18 to play. See Cash Pop prize and odds chart at nclottery.com for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer, or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Fruitcake! You shouldn't have. Wow, a candle.
Spread joy, not junk, with the Autobell Car Wash Holiday Sale. Visit Autobell to buy 1 Super Poly Process Wash and get one 40% off.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single-line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Are you still on fire, Dennis, in the ladder challenge?
Yeah.
Oh, that pause, I thought we finally saw the end. So what are you up to?
I am up to, I believe it's $88.60. Let me take a look here real fast.
88. For those of you that are new here, every day.
$88.40. My apologies.
We do something we call the ladder challenge. Right about this time, we each place a bet. Dennis has been significantly more successful than I have on a likely to win bet, meaning -500 to -1,000 for the gamblers out there, which puts the implied probability between 82% and 91%. and we roll over the winnings. The full stake, the full winnings go right back onto the likely to win bet the next day. And, the beauty of compounding that interest, kind of, you can end up with a decent amount of money. And Dennis has now more than 8 times his initial $10 beginning, which you could see as 10 units or 1 unit, right? It's really the multiplication that's the impressive part. So he's up to 8+ times his money. I, meanwhile, started over with the month of December. I'm up to $13.27 after starting with 10. I am thinking of since you know how we were supposed to restart every at the beginning of every month, but since you're on a heater, you're seeing how far it would go.
Yeah, see how far I take it.
I'm wondering if there's a new ladder challenge going around on social media where it's plus 250.
Okay.
And if you start with $25 in a week, you'll be at $3,750, $3,750 if you hit 1 plus 250 bet per day. If you start with $25. Something I could start with like 10. Maybe I'll try to catch up by just finding a better odds. Didn't do that for today, but just floating that idea out there since you started with this month with like $65 more than I started this month with. Either way, as a winner,
that's kind of crazy. Go plus 250 and try and go from there. That is
but obviously plus 250 significantly less likely to hit. But if I'm feeling froggy, I just might leap. There's always that possibility. As the leader, you get to lead off. Go ahead and name what happened for you last night, how'd you get the win, and what you're betting on today.
So I have William Nylander of the Toronto Maple Leafs yesterday. I just needed 2+ shots on goal. I got 3. Nailed it. Totally nailed it. But now the question is, what do I do tonight? Now, there are a lot of games in the NHL, which is my bread and butter, Tim. You know this.
Yes. Shots on goal, 2+ for some notorious scorer like a Kucherov, something along those lines.
Either that or I go with an alternate puck line.
That's true, too.
That is something I like to do as well. We have the Washington Capitals taking on the San Jose Sharks. San Jose, young and talented, but young. We'll just go with that. They're not that good overall as a team, but again, young talent. Macklin Celebrini, number 1 overall pick over there. Fun to watch.
I believe they're coming off a couple games where they roughed up who's playing the Canes tonight, the Kraken.
Yeah, Kraken, also not that good. But they're playing the Washington Capitals, one of the top teams in the NHL. I can actually tease the puck line and actually give Washington Capitals plus 1.5.
That's probably a good thought.
At minus 825. So the $88.40 if I hit tonight gets me $99.10.
Chasing that 100. You couldn't go plus 0.5 and get it over 100?
Nah.
Fine.
It wasn't within range.
Now that I said that, they're gonna lose by 1. My ladder challenge. First of all, last night I had Broncos versus Browns. I teased the over/under down to 30, so they had to get over 30 points combined. Each team did that by themselves. Jameis Winston darn near did it for each team by himself. Multiple pick sixes, threw a bunch of touchdowns. It was a high-scoring game, so it was a no-stress winner for me. Today, I get to say something I don't say often on this show. I'm taking the Hornets. I'm betting on the Hornets. But I did tease the spread. They are plus 15 in my teaser here. Or not a teaser, but I've teased the spread to plus 15 versus the Sixers. As a Sixers fan, I am acutely aware that they're getting healthier, that they're starting to get some buzz, and thus the spread is inflated. The Sixers have 4 wins on the season. They have 1 win this season by 15 or more. And that's their most recent game. They beat Detroit by exactly 15 in their last game. And because they're getting healthier and because they just won a game, everybody's like, oh, look at it. Now they're great. They just used their 115-plus win up. They got to recharge before they can do that again. So give me the Hornets plus 15 versus the Sixers. Come on, Hornets.
How much research do you do in each of these picks, to be honest?
Quite a bit.
Really? I usually make the pick in the break before we actually make this decision.
This is a theme of my life.
I'm being fully transparent here.
I cannot help but overthink these sorts of things. It happens in every NCAA bracket pool I've ever been in. It happens in every fantasy football league I am in. Right now, I know no one cares about fantasy, but I'm just going to tell a quick story. I put a stupid amount of thought into my fantasy football teams. Dennis, you will completely second the fact that I tell you stories about my fantasy team that you could not care less about, but you're just in the cubicle with me, and I'm like, so here's a trade I'm considering because it's just dumb and stupid, and I can't help myself. I am, in my most watched league, already out of the playoffs, and I am tanking for next year. The guy in second, who still has a chance for a bye, drafted Jahmyr Gibbs in our rookie draft and didn't know his first name. He walked up, because we had to send a video with our pick, and said, Mr. Gibbs, because he didn't know Jahmyr Gibbs' name.
That's how it works.
He is now not only in the playoffs, but might have a bye. And it is just a theme of my sports picking, and I wish I could do what you do. I wish I could glance through DraftKings Sportsbook right before and go, all right, I like this one. But it's not how my brain works. I do an insane, the amount of picks for the ladder challenge that I've researched all the way through and then gone you know what, I don't like the analytics of this. Let me start from scratch. It would be embarrassing if I said how often that happens. And I wouldn't even say I'm bad. I've won significantly more than I've lost in this. It's just you're on some kind of crazy heater, and if you hit tonight, you'll 10x your money. That's me ranting about sports. It's also why I love sports.
Yeah.
I say this is could be a T-shirt for us at the show. Sports are the best for two reasons. One, completely fair and equal. No matter if you're tall, short, rich, poor, from the East Coast, West Coast, no matter what you have going on, when you step onto a basketball court, if you put the ball through the hoop more than the other team, you win the game, right? It's fair, and it's awesome that way. The other reason, it's because it's completely and totally unpredictable. It's you sit down and you watch a game, no matter how much you study, no matter how much you think you know, no matter how much ball you've watched, you have no clue what is going to happen in any individual game. And those two reasons make it the best entertainment out there, and it's why I do what I do. So the fact that you're smoking me in the ladder challenge, I'm going to spin zone and say that's why I love sports.
There we go. Well, I got some questions about making some predictions here in Copper Drop.
Let's do it.
You want true enlightenment? Well, I'm dropping.
Hit me.
Copper Drop, ACC has two teams in the college football playoff.
Copping. I'm copping. Obviously, if Clemson loses, they're out. But if Clemson loses, they fall out. That might be the spot that Miami needs to bounce in. If SMU loses, I think you get Clemson and SMU in, depending on what the rankings are tonight. But I'm all in on two teams for the ACC. 3, pipe dream. 3, I'm giving like a 1.5% chance, but you're telling me there's a chance. 1, I think if SMU wins by a bunch and the committee goes Alabama over Miami, could be in for some trouble. But 2 is probably the most likely. 2 is probably the most likely option. So yes, I'm going 2.
All right, next one here. Cop or drop, North Carolina will announce their next football coach by Sunday. Cop or drop?
Copping. And who boy they better. Copping. We just found out the schedule. So on Monday, I believe I am going to be hosting both the Adam Gold Show and this show, doing a little doubleheader action. If they have not named their head coach on Monday, you just might get 6 hours of me going, what are you doing, Bubba Cunningham? So I hope I don't have to do that. That doesn't sound like fun for anyone, but I don't know if I'll be able to help myself. So, yes, I'm copping them having it picked, selected, and named by Monday. By Sunday. Is that what you said? By Sunday.
Yep, by Sunday. All right, cop or drop, NC State football will make a change with one of their coordinators. Cop or drop?
This is a prediction.
Yes.
Not me calling for someone's job. This is what I think is going to happen because I feel weird, saying someone should have to get a new livelihood. Yeah, I'm copping. I don't think Tony Gibson's going anywhere. He just signed a 3-year extension last offseason. But after a season like that where you barely squeak into bowl eligibility and you had such high expectations, the boosters, the administration, the powers that be, fans, they're going to want to see something, right? No, don't run it back. Don't do the same thing and expect different results. So I expect roster turnover I expect guys to hit the portal. I expect new guys in. I expect freshmen to get opportunities. And I expect probably a new offensive coordinator and a handful of new assistant position coaches as well. I think this will be an off-season of change in Raleigh for the Wolfpack.
All right, next one. Carolina Hurricanes. Even with Pyotr Kochetkov back, the Canes will still trade for a goalie at some point this season. Cop or drop?
Again, prediction, not what I think should happen. I don't think they do.
You don't? Okay.
So I'm dropping. They just have a history of being so patient. And last year, they everyone had been clamoring for a go get a top end goal scorer at the deadline for a couple years, and they finally did it last year, and they got burned. Right, you still had an early exit from the playoffs, and then Jake Gensel decided to okie doke you in heading into free agency and taking the money from Tampa. So, it almost feels like the front office and Tom Dundon, the owner, are going to be sitting there like, that's why we don't do it. So after a couple years of clamoring for a top-end goal scorer, they did it. They got burned. Now there's been a couple years of people clamoring to make a move for a goalie. I think they're going to be a little bit more solidified in their stance to just be patient. We just have to keep the car on the road until Freddie gets back, and they'll bank on that. So, I'm a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more okay with risk. I think I would go trade for a goalie if one became available and I like the deal, but I don't see them doing it.
Cop or drop? I'm going to ask you this one once again. Martin Necas finishes in the top 5 in the NHL in points scored. Cop or drop?
All right, now I need. He's second right now.
Second right now behind Kirill Kaprizov.
I still think. I mean, outside of if McDavid or McKinnon or someone along those lines was first or second in points, I would feel okay saying they're going to remain in the top 5. I'm not saying Necas is 100 miles below those guys, but he's below those guys. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's like to take the. Here's my analogy. That's like going into the NCAA tournament and asking if you want to pick one team to win it all. It's like, well, it's always a better bet to take the field, right? Is Martin Necas going to be a top 5 point scorer, or is 5 other players in the entire NHL gonna end up in the top 5? If you put up players and said, is Martin Necas or this guy more likely to be top 5 in points? I think Martin Necas is passing darn near everybody. I would take him in a one-on-one battle, but if it's him versus the field, I think I have to go with the field. So, yes, points for this season. I think he has as good of a chance as darn near anybody to be the leader in points or in the top 5 in points. I just think it's bad business to be predicting that.
Well, can you give me a prediction for your first goal scorer?
I can. Matter of fact, I would love to. But first, we have to hear from 3 of our listeners. 919-860-5326. It is time for a first goal scorer prediction. 919-860-5326 is the number to call. We need 3 of you to call in with who is going to score the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes in their game tonight against Seattle, and in what period they will score it. If you get it correct, you will win an Apex Racing Lab Ultimate Sim Racing Experience gift card to Apex Racing Lab. But you have to call in again, pick the player and the period that the first goal for the Canes will be scored tonight at Club Lenovo against Seattle. 919-860-5326. 3 official contestants on air. If you are not one of the 3 picked for the on-air portion, you can still play for bragging rights. You can comment on our YouTube, in our live stream comments. We live stream every single edition of the show. Or you can tweet it at me, at Donnelly Sports. Any way you get the information to me, that'll be for bragging rights. But just the 3 that make it onto the air are the 3 that are official contestants. And the phone lines have filled up quickly. So we'll go first to Chad in Hillsboro. Chad, thank you very much for calling. Who scores the first goal of the game for the Canes, and in what period?
I'm going to say Ghost in the first, and I'm also going to go the extra mile and say off a power play.
If you are picking Ghost, there's like a 70% chance it's going to be on the power play. So you're going Gostisbehere in the first on the power play. Any other specifics you want to add just to show off?
No, that's all I got right there.
All right, perfect. Go ahead and stay on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to grab from you to make sure you get your prize if you win. Next up, we have Thomas and Raleigh. Thomas, who scores the first goal for the Canes and in what period?
Yeah, I'm going to go Svechnikov today, and I want to specify for some wishful thinking. I'm going to say 5-on-5. I need to see his 5-on-5 goal rate come up a little bit.
And what period are you saying that's going to come in?
Let's go first period.
First period. All right. Any reason why you're thinking Svech? You got a gut feeling on it? Anything you've seen recently or anything like that?
No, honestly, kind of the opposite. I think he's been slumping a little bit, and so I'm trying to will some good luck towards it.
You didn't see his face in your Cheerios this morning or anything like that?
No, nothing like that. I'm just really, really hopeful today.
All right. I like it. I use this as well to kind of will it into existence. Stay on the line, and Dennis will grab some info from you. And that brings us to Matt in Durham, our final official contestant. Matt, who scores the first goal for the Canes and in what period?
I'm going with I'm going with Seth Jarvis in the first.
I have to admit, it sounded like you were going Aho there. Yeah, I'm going with Jarvis. Were you down to the wire on the selection?
I was between those two, but Seth Jarvis coming back on that after that injury has been playing pretty well, so I'm hoping he continues it up.
All right, do you want to add any specifics just for bragging rights? Is it on power play? Is it a slap shot from deep? What are we looking at?
I think it's going to be a rebound, like ricochet shot.
All right. If that happens, I'll tell you to buy a lottery ticket, but you'll also, if you just get the player and the period right, you'll get a ultimate sim racing experience from Apex Racing Lab. So thank you very much for calling in, Matt. Stay on the line. Dennis will grab that information he needs in case you win. By the way, the ultimate sim racing experience is at Apex Racing Lab. Rev up your engines at Apex Racing Lab, the Triangle's largest sim racing destination. Experience the ultimate thrill with 20 cutting-edge simulators, expert instructors, and world-class virtual tracks. It's located in Carey's McGregor Village in Greater Raleigh. Visit Apex Racing Lab today and unleash your racing passion. Learn more at apexracinglab.com. As Dennis grabs that information from the official contestants, I'll remind you once again, comment in our YouTube if you have a first goal scorer prediction. Even if you weren't an official contestant, you won't be eligible for the prize, but you can still get our praise if you get it right. And then you can double up, right? If someone else said what you wanted to say, feel free to second them as long as it's not an official entry. My first goal scorer, Jackson Blake. I'm going Jackson Blake, the rookie. I am officially soft launching a Jackson Blake Rookie of the Year Calder Trophy campaign. NHL.com had him as the 8th best rookie in their top 10 rankings yesterday. They put out a list yesterday. He's 8th. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. He's top 5. And he's probably not 5. He's probably top 4. He's 3rd in goals with 7. He's tied for 7th in points with 10. He's playing just 12 minutes, almost exactly, of ice time on average, yet still producing at that level. For comparison, Stankoven for Dallas, well, he's playing 15 minutes per night. So he's getting 3 extra minutes of opportunities. Macklin Celebrini, the first overall pick for San Jose, he's playing almost 20 minutes per night, 1948. They just have more opportunities to produce. And also, I have an issue with this. I think the first year you play like 5 games should be your rookie year. Stankoven played 24 games in the NHL last year. If you play 25, you use up your rookie eligibility. So they played him 24. Seems like, hey, let's get him used to it. Let's make it so he's not a rookie. And then next year, he'll still have his rookie eligibility. Jackson Blake played in 1 game last year. Celebrini, none. Obviously, he's a draft pick. So Jackson Blake, first period, goal scorer, something fancy, nice little stick handling, maybe goes top shelf. I'm looking for something cool from Jackson Blake as he backs me up in his Rookie of the Year campaign. We'll be looking for campaign slogans a little bit later on. Dennis,
yes.
Who are you picking?
Give me Dmitry Orlov.
Hot hand.
Give me the Dmitry Orlov. I think this is something that actually happens on the rush. Ends up being a 3-on-2. It's that defense pair. He and Chatfield on the ice with the stall line with Jarvis as well as Martinook. He ends up jumping in on the rush. Jarvis hits him with a pass. Buries one top shelf on the rush. 5-on-5. First goal of the game. Dmitry Orlov.
You haven't said a period.
First
period.
First period.
All right.
We do have some predictions actually from our folks on our YouTube live chat.
Sounds good. I just want to give a shout out to Orlov. He leads the league in plus-minus.
He does.
Which is kind of important. Winning, scoring more goals than the other team when you're on the ice, that's going to endear you to a fan base.
Brandon R. says, I think Svetch scores the first goal, the first period, just bullying his way to the net in the first period. He is ready to break loose.
I ask for that once a week in first goal scorer.
Yeah,
I pick Svetch with just a monster goal.
We also have from Clinton, says Jacob Slavin, first period.
Mm-hmm.
Travis says going to go with Martinook in the first. Also, we have another one for Svetch in the first as well. So we have quite a few for Svetch on the breakout.
You can send them in, as you just heard, on our YouTube comments if you want to get in just for bragging rights and the glory of being right. The three contestants, Chad, Thomas, and Matt, are the ones competing for the Apex Racing Lab gift certificate. Chad went Gostasphere in the first, Thomas went Svetch in the first, and Matt went Jarvis in the first. Three of our most common predictions. Before we move on, here's Dennis Cox with something for you.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Folks, stop letting high-interest debt weigh you down. Pay it all off in days thanks to Loan Pronto's new Rapid Equity Loan. Especially homeowners, listen up. Imagine a completely hassle-free way to cash out your home equity. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's all-new Rapid Equity Loan uses AI-driven technology to get you approved for cash in as little as 1 day. One client got $100,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their debt, launched a home improvement project, and is now saving over $1,000 a month. Instant approvals, low fixed rates, fast transfers. Get cash out to consolidate all of your debt and get a fresh start on the new year. Call Loan Pronto now and see how much you qualify for. Just imagine, this time next week, you could be credit card debt free. Don't wait, get your cash fast. Call 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have a feedback frenzy. Coming up next, we'll hear the best comments that you have made to our conversations on our YouTube channel and social media, and we'll take our time to respond. Feedback frenzy coming up next.
Is your heating and air system ready for cooler weather? Call Newcomb & Company today to schedule a routine maintenance and ensure your system is operating at peak performance. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs for HVAC and plumbing work. Newcomb & Company has served the area as a Carrier Factory authorized dealer for more than 3 generations. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company and Carrier. Your comfort is our business.
Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? Did you know that Bailey's has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for our designer jewelry, fine diamonds, and luxury watches, but we also have a vast selection of beautiful jewelry and gifts under $500. You can make a piece of our Bailey's collection yours this Christmas. Add a little sparkle with the popular Icon Collection Tiny Diamond Hoops in either white, rose, or yellow gold for $395. For only $250, check out our beautiful Sterling Collection Diamonds by the Yard bracelet. Or select one of our Bailey's perfect layering necklaces. For $325, our Gold Mark Station necklace, or for only $275, our Icon Puffed Heart pendant. We're celebrating over 75 years of making holiday gifting easy. You can shop online at baileybox.com, or we invite you to visit one of our locations in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, and Greenville to see why every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Shop Black Friday deals now at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select major appliances. Plus, take an additional 10% off when you buy select major appliances. And get 2 free select tools with purchase of a select combo kit or battery kit from brands like Cobalt, Craftsman, and DeWalt. Hurry and shop these savings only for a limited time because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 11/28 through 12/4. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Welcome to Staples.
Help! My family's in for the holidays and I need gift ideas.
That's why we're here. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need. Photo gifts, laptops, and gaming systems. Even custom holiday cards and shipping solutions to send gifts to the family that can't make it.
Perfect! Have anything for Uncle Frank? I love him, but the guy is never quiet.
Noise-canceling headphones. For you.
You get it.
Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples. And right now at Staples, save up to $350 on select computers. Ends 12/28, in-store only.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Welcome to the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club Aromatherapy Room. Our first scent is the essence of this month's scratch-offs.
I'm getting notes of anticipation mingled with cold hard cash.
Anyone else?
Oh, is that tilapia?
Sorry, that's my lunch.
New Diamond 10X and Lotteria are here. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.99 to 4.23. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Pinch me, because Lobster's back at Carolina Ale House. This fan favorite's only available through the end of the year, so head for your closest Carolina Ale House and load up on lobster. Enjoy your favorites or try something new like lobster seafood scampi, surf and turf, grouper fingers, and more. And as long as you're treating yourself, go all out with dessert too. Top off your lobster meal with a nice warm brookie with ice cream on top. Visit any Carolina Ale House in the Triangle and treat yourself this fall. Hashtag Ale Yeah.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for a feedback frenzy. This is where Dennis peruses the internet, searches. It's a dangerous place in there, but he goes in fearlessly to the internet, and he comes out with the best comments, the best questions, the best reactions from all of you to what we say here on air, right? We have this YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. We post a ton of content, podcasts, clips of this show. It's a whole deal. Subscribe if you haven't already, 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. And if you comment, you might just hear your comments here live on the show. Dennis, what do we have for a feedback frenzy?
So we were talking Carolina Hurricanes earlier, and we actually had a caller offer some feedback actually on the Carolina Hurricanes. Weren't able to actually take the call on air, but Jesse from Apex says, wants Brent Burns to have less ice time. Doesn't want to see him on the power play as much, especially at his age. Wants to see Brent Burns on the ice less.
Yeah, I'm this is like it's I don't know. I feel like we're having these conversations a lot. Kind of and it's not identical, but it's like when you really like someone, you don't want to have the conversations about like occasionally you look a little old. I like Brent Burns. He is a Cane through and through. He is a obviously also a Minnesota, San Jose, you know what I mean. But he just seems like a good dude. But then you see him like standing next to Jackson Blake, and it's like, hey, Jackson Blake's 21 years old, and you've been in the NHL for 21 years. And you do those kind of comparisons, and you just realize, yeah, I mean, you're not as good as you once were. Maybe as good once as you ever were, but when you're playing big minutes, you need more than that. So he's playing 21 and a half minutes per game, average time on ice, which is basically what he played last year. Then you have to go all the way back to 2013-14 to find a season where he wasn't playing more than that. So he's in crazy shape, but he does look a little stiffer, skates around a little more upright. You know, I say occasionally he hits kind of that lurch tempo where he's just real big and kind of ogre-ish. So yeah, I'm okay with him skating less time.
I would like to see Sean Walker on the power play because he's Brent Burns is on that second power play unit, and during the preseason, they had Sean Walker and Burns out there. Burns is like a net front guy because he has good hands, doesn't have to skate around as much, and he's a bigger body. But then when Jackson Blake made the team, they put Brent Burns back at the point, and they took Sean Walker off. I like to see Sean Walker back out there in the power play, but that's just me talking.
I'm fine with that.
All
Experiment, but Rod is gonna, like, if he's gonna change something up, he's not gonna do it once. He's gonna find a couple different ways to try it out.
So this one comes from @JamesTurner4972 on YouTube.
What's going on, Jimmy T?
Regarding NC State football. It's funny how State fans get excited about beating UNC the last 4 games, but they can't beat Clemson consistently, even when Clemson hasn't been that good. NC State football always gets hyped up at the start of the season, and they always flop. Durham will never take State to an ACC championship. They paid for an indoor facility and a remodel of the Coliseum, and what have they gotten in return? No championships and one flop season after another, and no prestigious bowl game. And they will go to a low-level bowl, but State won't get nothing else from a high school coach. I think he's referring to Doran as a high school coach.
There is some truth to some of that. I do think there's a good, healthy amount of maybe ignoring what you see in the mirror when making those comments. Like you made it to one ACC championship a couple of years ago, and now it's like, we'll never be down in the doldrums like them. Which, I mean, is fair. The hard part for me is, and I say it all the time on this show, I'm an advocate for trash talk. Part of coming to sports is you get to let that primal, that barbarian, that gladiator out, right? You get to scream, you get to yell, you get to trash talk. But I am of the firm belief, like, to the winner goes the spoils. You just lost to NC State. Now you're coming out here with that kind of anger. It's like, well, actually, for like a week, they kind of have the upper hand, right? That's just kind of where it stands with me. Also, weird ricochet shot towards Clemson when Clemson is one of 15, 16 teams still in the running to be a national champion at the moment.
Yeah, they backdoor their way into this thing, though.
I saw Dabo Swinney say we were the first 15-0 national champion. Now we're going to try to be the first 3-loss national champion. And I was kind of like,
look at that spin zone. Look at you, Dabo.
Kind of swaggy. I don't agree with much of what Dabo says, but I mean that's a heck of a way to turn it around on him. I don't think they're going to do it, but there's it's a weird ricochet shot to be like, oh, they're not even good anymore. They have 2 9-win seasons, which is as good as UNC has done since early Fedora era. It's a lot of jabs being thrown from a UNC fan without recognizing they can bounce right back and stick to you.
All right, speaking of North Carolina, this is on the last week coming on the announcement of Mac Brown being let go. This one comes from Ron Odell on YouTube. UNC losing commits by the minute. Can you imagine the players we are going to lose when the portal opens? Hope everyone is happy now. What the hell?
Here's one of my favorite sayings about the portal. The portal giveth and the portal taketh away. When you lose a coach, you should expect some hefty departures into the transfer portal. But you should also expect a coach that is going to bring an energy, and he's going to bring contacts, and he's going to bring some talent out of the portal along with him. It's not you'd like to keep all your good players and then bring better players in. It's not that easy. But let's say, I don't know why we keep coming back to this guy as the hypothetical. Maybe it's a sign. But let's say you get Summerall from Tulane, right? That's the coach. After the AAC championship this weekend against Army, they announce he's coming to UNC. Hypothetically, we're just spitballing here. Do you think maybe he has 6 or 7 guys at Tulane that might want to come play for their coach in the ACC that he sees as ACC quality difference makers? Maybe, right? So, yeah, you're going to lose some guys to the portal, but maybe there's some guys coming out of the portal to help you as well. Just like last year for Duke. I know you don't like that comparison, but coaching change last year. You lost Riley Leonard to Notre Dame. You bring Malik Murphy into Duke. You giveth and it taketh away.
All right, final one here real quick. This one comes from Dead Pepper. This is regarding the Carolina Panthers and their loss on Sunday against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Who cares about a draft pick or moral victory? This team needs real wins. The fans need real victories against our rivals. Bryce balled out and played more than good enough to win this game. The Bucs didn't beat the Panthers. The Panthers beat themselves.
I disagree.
Okay.
I don't know if we have enough time to fully dissect that. I don't like trading 2 wins now for 8 wins later. That's short-sighted, right? This team needs difference makers. They need top-end talent. And you can go back through the history of the draft and see how often you are to get a Pro Bowler, an All-Pro, a Hall of Famer at each pick in the draft. And I can tell you this, the percentages are much higher in the top 3, much higher in the top 5 than they are picks 8 to 15. And you're just playing the percentages. You need the difference maker. Need it. So, yeah, if you need an edge rusher, you're more likely to get a Hall of Famer in the top 6 than you are at pick 12. And that's what one of these wins might be the difference of. It's that clustered at the bottom of the NFL. So, yeah, I disagree. I respect your opinion, and I get it, right? The winning culture, you got to learn how to finish games. You got to learn how to do that. I don't think you ever tank with coaches or players. You never tell a coach or a player to not do everything they can to win. You tank with the front office. You put together a roster that is just difficult to win with, and that's how you end up at the top of the draft. You've stood toe-to-toe with 2 of the most moxie quarterbacks, different levels, but moxie quarterbacks in the NFL the past 2 weeks. Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield. They've got that poise in very different levels. But I think there's something you can take away from it. It's not a moral victory, don't get me wrong, but there's something you can take away from it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tim Donnelly here for Capital Financial Advisory Group, and of course, that means Coach Pete. We're talking about looking towards the future. We're talking about trading a little bit now for a lot later. Doesn't that sound like planning for retirement, right? You take a little bit out of your paycheck, put it into a retirement account, and then when it's time to retire, when it's time to make it to the end of that rat race called employment, you're looking good, or at least you hope so. But it's more than that. It's not just checking the box to, take the company match and put it into your 401k. If you want more in retirement, then you need to think more about it. And Capital Financial Advisory Group and Coach Pete love doing that thinking for you. They have custom, total and completely custom retirement plans for each of their clients, which means they're not just taking, all right, here's what we do here. We just did it for the person that was sitting in that chair 20 minutes ago, and as soon as you leave, we're going to bring someone else and do the same thing for them. It's custom because your needs are different than my needs, are different than anyone you know's needs, right? And we all make different amounts of money, and we all need different amounts to maintain our lifestyle, and we have different amount of risk we're comfortable with, and Coach Pete wants to get to know all of your wants and desires, and he wants to make it happen for you in retirement, and that's along with his fiduciary planning team over there at Capital Financial Advisory Group. Coach Pete will make sure your plan is reviewed, analyzed, and then seal it with his famous, Coach Pete stamp of approval. Make sure you get the second opinion you deserve, because if things aren't right, you want to learn about them now. Those issues, it's vital to learn about them now rather than later. The number to call is 800-691-3215. That's 800-691-3215. Or you can text my name, Tim, T-I-M, to 600-700. That's Tim to 600-700. If you're texting, they'll know what that means. When we come back, we have the starting 5, including a look ahead to tonight's college football playoff rankings. How messed over will the ACC be tonight? Or celebrated? We don't know. Stick around. It's coming up next, starting 5.
The Adam Gold Show.
I'm not saying Pyotr Kochetkov can't be the goaltender, but for the next 2.5 to 3 months, your tandem needs to be better than Kochetkov and Spencer Martin. Until Frederick Anderson comes back, to rely on those 2 goalies to get you through the next 40 games, man, that is a recipe I don't want to taste. Get me a backup goalie for Kochetkov.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan. military veterans, and active duty service members. You could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Discover the thrill of precision and elegance with Omega this holiday season. From the depths of the ocean to the heights of space, Omega's Seamaster and Speedmaster collections are crafted for those who dare to explore. With a heritage rooted in innovation and a timeless style inspired by sports, space, and cinematic legends, Omega is the gift for every adventurer. Find your perfect watch at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, voted best jeweler. Learn more at baileybox.com.
It's bow time. 'Tis the season for food and family, but thanks to Bojangles, you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen when loved ones come home for the holidays. Set down the spatula and put away the mixing bowls, because this holiday season, Bojangles is ready to help you celebrate with all your family favorites like Chicken Supreme, Cajun Filet Biscuits, or a big bow box of hand-breaded chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and fixins for the whole family. We'll make the food so you can focus on making memories. Head to Bojangles and gift yourself a taste of home. It's bow time.
If it's ho-ho-ho time, it's Bo-Bo-Bo time. Time to order a party-sized platter of that bodacious Bojangles flavor before your next holiday celebration. Choose a Bojangles Supremes platter and get 50 whole breast tenderloin fillets. Or go with a Bojangles dessert platter and get 2 dozen Bo-Berry biscuits, 2 dozen cinnamon twists, or 1 dozen of each. It's a platter full of Bo-liciousness. And don't forget to pick up Bojangles gift cards. Just the right gift for anyone on your list. Hurry, it's Bo time.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on the radio, Instagram, TikTok, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. If you're going to be out and about this evening, stay well bundled. We have at least 15 hours at or below freezing starting this evening. The low tonight, 22, 51 tomorrow, 55 Thursday, 43 by Friday.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell down 76 points today to 44,705. Market update brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Please subscribe to our YouTube. We'll start there. 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. We are constantly putting out content that hopefully you can enjoy, but you'll only know it is being released if you subscribe. 99.9 The Fan. Now let's start in the starting five with, as always, number 5.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We've spent a lot of the season talking about, how will the committee respond to the conference championship games? If SMU's ahead of Alabama after 12 games, is it fair to drop them below after they played a 13th when Alabama hasn't played a 13th? They're probably going to be, 8th, I think, tomorrow night in the college football playoff rankings, ahead of Indiana, but behind Ohio State. They could drop behind Indiana and they're fine. If Clemson steals their automatic bid, they can't drop behind anybody else. We don't know for sure what to think about what the committee's going to think.
Speculation time. Only the committee knows what's going on up there in those brains of theirs. College football playoff will be, the rankings will be updated today. And it is, obviously the final rankings are the most important, but you can almost see what's going to happen in the final rankings with what happens tonight. If Alabama is over Clemson, which they were number 12 and 13 last week, with Clemson at 12, Alabama at 13. If Alabama jumps Clemson, there's really no way for the ACC to get 3 teams into the college football playoff. If Clemson is over Alabama, that essentially sets it up where if things break their way, you might be able to get 3 teams in. Miami likely in. Clemson, if they win, they get in. SMU, is it how high do they climb? It's what I say every single week. People go, only the last ones matter. Why do you get so worked up? It's because that's where you're moving from, right? If SMU stays at 9, which is where they were last week, and they lose in the ACC championship, they're probably not getting in. If they climb as high as 7, I think if they lose, there's a possibility that they make it into the top 11 anyway, and then you might get, 3 ACC teams in, with Miami being the other. It's tough. I don't envy the committee, but I darn sure will be here tomorrow on the show, letting you know what I think of their work. That's what you get when you sign up for the College Football Playoff Committee. I don't know. Am I comfortable saying Oregon will be in? Anything beyond that, we'll do what we can do. We'll see what we can do. What are you most looking forward to, Dennis? What do you want to learn?
I just want to see where SMU is ranked relative to everyone else.
SMU, how far does Ohio State fall is interesting to me. Indiana, where do they end up is interesting to me. Boise, how high can they climb is interesting to me. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
I know I'm better than this. I know I'm just praying for the Lord to deliver me from pick sixes.
That was Jameis Winston after the game last night. For those of you that watched Monday Night Football, first of all, how entertaining was that? That is the let me think of it, like the Michael Bay for my movie fans out there. Michael Bay is the director of football games. There were big explosions. It was exciting to watch. Was there a plot? I don't know. Was there good acting? Potentially. But I'll tell you what it was. There was cool special effects and there was car chases and I was excited. That game was wild.
It was fun. Entertaining for sure.
You know what we should do? We should play a game.
Go on.
We should start a game for the show where you show somebody just a stat line and you have to try to predict the player. Because if you showed me Jameis Winston's stat line from last night, it's not taking me 2 guesses. 34 of 58 passing for 497 yards, which I believe is a Browns franchise record, and they've been around for a while. 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 2 of which were returned for touchdowns, and the third, if the linebacker had a hint more speed, would have been returned for a touchdown pretty much as time expired, just to rub salt in the wound. It was a wild night. Jerry Jeudy, 9 catches, 235 yards, and a touchdown, including a 70-yard touchdown in a loss.
Against his former team?
Against his former team. One quarterback threw for, we'll call it 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. The other threw for 294 yards and 1 touchdown and 2 picks. The one with 1 touchdown and 2 picks won. It was a truly insane game. The back-to-back, I think they were back-to-back 70-yard touchdowns. If I'm not mistaken, let me make sure I get the second distance right. It was a Marvin Mims 93-yard touchdown on an absolute dime from Bo Nix for the Broncos, followed up by a 70-yard touchdown pass to Jerry Jeudy from Jameis Winston. It was an insane game. It was a fever dream of a game. Was it well-played football? At many times, no. Was there great individual performances? Yes, probably. Were there horrendous individual performances? That too. It was crazy. It was Monday Night Football. When you saw Browns and Broncos, did you think you were getting that? Absolutely not. But you got fireworks anyway. Sean Payton afterwards. Have to imagine he looked at Bo Nix and said, we got a bye week, buddy. Figure out what the heck happened there. Good win. That's number 4. Let's jump to number 3.
Dalton is in empty. Here's the snap. Pocket holds. Andy fires downfield. 1-6. Touchdown. End zone. Center cut. Diontae Johnson.
How long ago was that?
That was against the Bengals, so that was week 4?
So it wasn't like 12 years ago like it feels? No. That is an insane roller coaster of a season for Diontae Johnson. So Diontae Johnson just to be clear, I'll give you the quick cliff notes. Would you call them longtime Steelers, like 4 years, 5 years, something with the Steelers?
5 years with the Steelers.
100 catches in a season, number 1 wide receiver for a couple years, gets traded in the offseason because they were going to cut him to the Panthers. Has a couple really good games, particularly with Andy Dalton, early in the season in a contract year, right? This offseason he's going to be a free agent. It's like, all right, maybe he'll put up some stats. Everybody gets very excited. At the trade deadline, it looks like the Panthers want to do everything and anything possible to get rid of the dude. They end up accepting a 5th to 6th round pick swap for Diontae Johnson. So they give up Diontae into 6th for a 5th, essentially moving up 17 picks on day 3 of the draft in exchange for Diontae Johnson. Not exactly going well for his time in Baltimore.
I think it's 1 catch, maybe 2?
He didn't play a single snap in their loss to Philly on Sunday.
Yeah, he was dressed and sat on the sideline the whole game, never even played.
He was a highly compensated, well-dressed spectator.
Even when one of the receivers and Rashad Bateman went down with an injury, he still didn't play.
And then on Monday, John Harbaugh, the coach, was asked about it, and I have the quote here. John Harbaugh says, "At this time, I'm going to have to wait just to clarify it. There's some moving parts there that we're going to have to figure out and explore and just see where we're at. I know that's not the answer you want, but that's the best answer I can do in fairness to everybody right now." Harbaugh continued, "We'll just have to work it out and see where we're at over the next few days this week." What the heck does that mean?
Think they're going to cut him?
What moving parts are there? It's a roster. He's on the roster. Like, what's the move? He's played in games for the Ravens already, so it's not like we're just waiting till he gets up to speed in the playbook. He has played for them already. He's been targeted. He's caught a pass. There's two ways to handle this here for Panthers fans. One is go bullet dodged, right? Like, look at that. He is now somebody else's problem. The other way is to say, I think the only reason the Ravens took him is because it cost them nothing to acquire him. It costs moving down 17 picks at a part in the draft where oftentimes the guy you want is available 17 picks later. So there's kind of both sides. Like, if it fails for the Ravens, I don't even think they think it's a failure. It was a free spin, right? It was a free trip around the carousel with a talented individual for the Ravens. They just have to make sure that it doesn't end up being something that distracts them or harms them down the stretch. If he's being, the locker room cancer that some accuse him of being, I think the Ravens cut him. And they just eat the 5th to 6th round pick swap. Fair. Hilarious, but fair. What number was that? Number 3? Number 3, let's jump to number 2.
Just the two of us.
Tario's going to reverse it and now flip it back to Harrell. He's going to try a deep ball. Wide open, waiting for it, and making the catch at the 9 is Hamilton, and he'll ride a Charlotte defender in for the touchdown.
Interesting. UNC is still looking for a football coach. What time is 5:14 on December 3rd? It is a Tuesday, and UNC is still looking for a football coach.
Do you know where your football coach is?
Interim?
Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah, there you go. Let's jump to Bubba Cunningham. He was on the Inside Carolina podcast. He's the athletic director for UNC. Let's go with the clip about finding the right fit. This is Bubba on finding the right fit for their next coach.
I think the most important thing is fit. It really is. There's a certain person that's best suited at the right time at the right place. And right now, that's what we're looking for. Where are we today, and who can lead us in the next 3, 5, 10 years? We've got a lot of transition going on with revenue share. NIL is starting to not fade away, but we'll be less reliant on NIL, more reliant on revenue share. We have the transfer portal. We have signing day. We have to develop this program. As we've said, we've been right at the cusp of really great seasons, getting to 8, 9 wins. How do we get to 10, 11? Who can get us to that level? What kind of players do we need to get to that level? So that's where we need somebody that can come in and take us, again, from good to great. How do we compete for championships, ACC and national championships?
The first half of that is this is not an insult. It's gobbledygook. It's blah, blah, blah. We're looking for the right fit. If you don't give us details about the fit you're looking for, no one is assuming you're looking for the wrong fit. So that's just word salad. It's interesting when he starts bringing up NIL and revenue share and those things. Do you know what I think is one of the most interesting question is who's going to be their head coach? One of the next most interesting questions is, are any big hires immediately following it? Do you remember when Eric Tulsky was hired as the GM of the Canes? One of the first questions became, okay, well now are they going to go bring in a hockey communications guy, right? Because Tulsky, during his time as assistant GM to Don Waddell, he could handle the analytics. He could handle the salary cap and the roster moves and all of that. But it was obvious Don Waddell brought a certain amount of connections across the league and a certain amount of he could call up somebody just to, shoot the breeze and then end with some piece of information that they wanted. So it was like, all right, Tulsky gets promoted to GM. Do they hire a hockey lifer guy to fill that role? Once whoever is named the head coach at UNC, which I hope is sooner rather than later, I'm going to be focused on and interested in, do they hire a GM? We're seeing that be one of the new priorities for the big money teams out there. And it's not a dumb idea. I was doing the math earlier today. So in the NFL, starting quarterbacks, obviously like the top guys more, but starting quarterbacks roughly take up about 15 to 20% of the salary cap. So the NFL has done I'm sure the smart salary cap people have done the math, and a starting quarterback that is helping you win is worth about 15, 20, 25% of the salary cap. If we look at the revenue share numbers in college, obviously the expectation is schools are going to be allowed to pay their student athletes a little over $20 million. 70 to 75% of that, depending on the final wording, can go to a single sport. Just about everyone is going to put that 70 to 75% towards football, which will put you roughly, $14, $15 million paid to football players. If you hit that 15, 20% kind of portion of the salary cap to the starting quarterback, you're looking at like $2.2 to $2.8 million to your starting quarterback. That's just, again, you just heard me talk through it. That's how I got to those numbers. That's the path I traveled. I don't think it's ridiculous if you're going to be paying somebody over $2 million to be a player on your team, and multiple others, maybe $1 million, $500,000, $250,000, to have somebody whose job is player personnel and distributing the cash and ironing out those agreements with agents and making all of that happen. So if you do know who you're going to hire at head coach, one of the questions I would ask during the interview process is, how do you plan on handling the money side of this, the revenue share side of this? And if you don't want to be super hands-on on all of those decisions, do you have somebody that you would trust in that role for you to work side by side on? Like in the NFL, you have GMs and head coaches that need to be in, Panthers fans will like this, alignment.
There you go.
If you're Kyle Shanahan, who's your John Lynch? Like, that's going to be a question that now college coaches have to answer.
We've seen players go into the transfer portal at schools. Caleb Hood, running back from UNC, actually just posted on X about 20 minutes ago. After many thoughts and prayers, I've decided to enter my name into the transfer portal with 1 year of eligibility. I'm thankful for my time in Chapel Hill and have made relationships and memories that I will last a lifetime.
He did get a carry against NC State.
He had a pass, too.
He finishes his season with 7 carries for 3 yards.
Probably looking for a chance to play.
Yes, that's what the transfer portal is for. And by the way, I believe he was at UNC for 4 years. So likely got his degree, served out whatever commitment the loyalists think he made to UNC. If he wants to go take his last year of eligibility and find somewhere where he's going to play a little bit more, I think that is more than fair of him to go pursue. So good luck. Maybe some of the Group of 5 teams in the state, just throwing that out there, maybe once they find their coaches, can maybe reach out, and the ones that have their coach can maybe reach out. Use proximity as a recruiting tool. That's all number 2. Let's get to number 1.
The one! And Roslovic with speed. He gets it to Drury. Drury across, slot, blink, he scores! On the power play! Lucky number 7, his 7th of the year! For Jackson Blake, and the Canes take a 4-3 lead.
Canes tonight, Seattle in Club Lenovo. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. Canes desperately need a get-right game. They're Friday, Saturday, a little back-to-back against the Florida Panthers with Spencer Martin in net. Not what the doctor ordered, but I actually think it's a good game for a get-right game. Seattle's a good opponent for that. Pyotr Kochetkov is expected back in goal. He was in the starter's crease during morning skate. Seattle is, I wouldn't say like the worst team in the league, but they're far from great. Second to last in the Pacific Division, fourth to last in the Western Conference as far as their overall record. I went and kind of, obviously they're a West Coast team. They're a Western Conference team. We're not super familiar with them.
No.
But I did go do a deep dive into their stats. 22nd worst in goals scored per game, 14th worst in or 14th in fewest goals allowed per game, so middle of the pack there. 30th in power play percentage, 19th in penalty kill percentage.
Oof.
They've lost their last 3 games to Anaheim and then San Jose ×2 on back-to-backs by a combined score of 17-9.
Oof.
Gave up an 8 spot in one of those. The thing that they do really well, I did find one where I'm like, all right, maybe you hang your hat on that.
Okay.
They avoid penalties.
Okay, look at them.
5th fewest penalty minutes this year.
If anything, that plays right into the strength of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Stay the heck away from special teams.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's a good identity. I don't know if any coach is going into the season like, we're going to be mediocre scoring. We're not going to stop the other team exceptionally. But I'll be darned if we don't play an absolutely pitch-perfect technique, no penalties game. That's what they are, though. So they're coming in and, you'd probably take away from that they're not the most physical team in the world, that you might be able to impose your will a little bit, and they're not pushing the line at anywhere along the way. So it's I think, a really good opportunity for the Canes to bounce back from a couple tough losses.
I think something that gets understated at this time of year in hockey, for example, the Canes just played 7 games in 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get a chance to practice and clean stuff up. You just don't have the time.
You're just licking your wounds and right back out
Exactly. So the fact that they had Sunday off, yesterday they actually got the chance to actually get on the ice and practice. Hey, guys, let's work on our puck management and get some breakouts and things like that. Okay, then you can actually go do it in a game. It's just one of those things you don't get a chance to do sometimes this time of year is actually just practice.
Scale of 1 to 10, how big is this game?
Yeah, 6.
I'd even go less than that.
Yeah, I was about to say 5, but like 6
I'm
in the sense of
4 and change.
I would say 6 just in the sense of you need to get right.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But like get right could be 4-2. It could be 3-1. It could be 5-2. Like there's like
I'm just worried about how they play.
I'm not picky on some of the results. But it does mean because it's not. I'm big on in big games, big players, big time players have to make your plays, right? Your stars have to show up in your biggest moments. In a game this is not the biggest moment of the season. It's against an opponent that is very little history between the Canes and the Kraken. Very little history between the Kraken and darn near anybody. But with kind of a more run-of-the-mill regular season Tuesday night game, anyone can be the spark. Right, anyone can get involved. If William Carrier wants to be the straw that stirs the drink tonight, I don't think it's a bad idea. If Jackson Blake or one of the young guys wants to be that's fine as well. I don't think you need to lean as heavily on the stars. I'm looking for Piotr to be knocking some rust off and playing solid in net and the blue line to help him out. But it's a get right game. Like you said, it's more eye test than it is production in this one. I would like it to be a stress-free, multi-goal, most of the third period win, but, I'll settle for a win pretty much of any kind. Now that I've said that, it's going to be like a ridiculous, big swings, overtime game, and I'm going to come in tomorrow and not be happy with it. But try to remind me I said a win of any kind. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We need some numbers game contestants, don't we?
That we do.
All right, let's go ahead and what are we giving away here today?
We have a pair of tickets to see NC State versus Texas, ACC SEC Challenge tomorrow night at Lenovo Center. NC State versus Texas tickets.
I wasn't laughing at the game. That's going to be a really fun game.
Yeah.
And State's looking to get a win over a non-conference power conference opponent. It's going to be a big game. It's at the Lenovo Center. Should be a really fun atmosphere. I was laughing because NC State versus Texas in the ACC SEC Challenge just doesn't seem right. But it is. So you'll get Wolfpack versus Longhorns. Pair of tickets goes to the winner of the numbers game. If you want to get the tickets, you have to win. If you want to win, you have to call. The number to call, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Numbers game coming up next.
We're kicking it this fall with college football. Join 99.9 The Fan all season long and catch your favorite teams in action. The ACC, the SEC, and every conference that matters. You'll find the best matchups here.
A walk-off touchdown for Jordan Moore! Do you believe it?
College football on 99.9 The Fan is brought to you by Wake Med, Sammy's Tap and Grill, and Roofworks.
Drive-through car washes are quick, but a mobile detailer gets to the nitty-gritty. Autobell Car Wash is the sweet spot between both. We quickly clean your car from the inside out to save you time. Get the app at autobell.com.
Homeowners, listen up. Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? Hey, it's Dennis Cox for Loan Pronto. The Fed has dropped rates again. The election is over, and Loan Pronto has APRs in the low 5s for refis, debt consolidation, and purchase loans. If your current mortgage rate is over 6% or you are in process with another lender, don't settle. Call Loan Pronto now for a second opinion. Lock in a lower rate today and close in as little as 2 weeks, often with no appraisal. And if you act now, you won't make your first payment till February. This 5-minute call saves homeowners an average of $5,000. Lower rates and lower fees. Get your Loan Pronto rate quote instantly with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Loan Pronto, call 919-381-1760 or loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer, or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to hims.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Hey man, been to Sharky's lately?
Yeah, man, I was there last night with you.
Oh, yeah. The wings and the burgers are killer. They have so many beers it's hard to choose, you know?
I know. You know, they got trivia on Tuesdays and luck of the draw darts on Sunday, man. I love them both.
Yeah, I love that place, man.
You know what, man? I think Sharky's may be the best bar in the world.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. Let's go grab a beer.
Sharky's at the corner of Delta Lake Drive and Durham Road. Open 7 days a week.
Introducing a product that redefines living well.
Luxury.
Designed to satisfy your wildest desires.
Extravagance.
Overflowing with suspense. Dripping with wealth.
Fortune.
The $8 million moneymaker from the North Carolina Education Lottery. With prizes that start at $100 and go up to $8 million. Every win's a big win.
Whisper.
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.14. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's Tim Donnelly for Window Nation. It's Window Nation's end of the year sale. Get 50% off all styles of windows and a bonus 10% off. Plus, you could get 0 interest for 6 years. Sale ends December 31st, so book a quote at 866-90Nation or at windownation.com. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. On the line, meaning the prize for today. The winner will receive a pair of tickets to see NC State versus Texas men's basketball tomorrow night as part of the ACC SEC Challenge. It's a home game for State, so it'll be at the Lenovo Center, the Lenny, Club Lenovo. A lot of the ACC SEC Challenge is taking place tonight, but they said let's hold off on the Triangle and put just a heater of college basketball games on Wednesday for the Triangle.
All home games.
All home games, all really legit opponents. The later game, Duke and UNC will be later, right? And State is earlier? No, UNC is earlier, State is later. It's a 9:15 game.
And Duke is later as well.
So it'll be a really fun day for college basketball fans in our neck of the woods. And obviously that includes whoever wins a pair of tickets to go see NC State versus Texas. The contestants are Isaiah in Wake Forest and Anthony in Zeppelin. Isaiah, you're up first. You get to answer a question. If you give our favorite answer out of the two, you will get to go first in the competition. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Earlier today, we did a lot of we did the Canes report cards. We did the Dean's List. There was like kind of a little school flavor on the show today. So I ask you, what was your favorite subject in school and why?
Favorite subject in school, I'm going to have to say is probably math.
All right. And
why? I just do well in it.
All right. Straight to the point. I like it. You like what you're good at. We'll see if that is the answer. Dennis, our judge, picks to go first. Anthony, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Same question to you. What was your favorite subject in school and why?
I'm going to say American history.
And why?
And it just really intrigues me to learn about our ancestors and stuff.
All right. 2 solid answers. Dennis, what you going with?
I was also really good in math. Believe it or not, in college, I took 6 math courses for someone who double majored in kinesiology and communications.
By the way, I was in business school for 2 years, so I've got a lot of like stats and macroeconomics and that I just completely have no use for. Anyway, continue.
Hey, they help with your on-air math.
I'm terrible at on-air math. Obviously, I was not paying attention.
But American history is like there's so much depth to it. So I'm probably going to go American history on this one.
Anthony and Zeblin, you get to go first. Isaiah, don't worry, you will have your time. You just got to sit on the line for a second. Anthony, are you there?
Yes.
All right. The categories for you to choose from are NFL mix somethings, all players whose name starts with MC. NFL, born last week of November, obviously players born in that week. NBA, all Charlotte Hornets and Bobcats of the last 20 years. And NHL, Hurricanes only. Those are your options. Which one would you like to play?
Let's go the mix.
All right.
Mix.
Mix somethings. NFL players whose last name starts with the letter MC. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There will be 30 seconds on the clock. 1 pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Christian McCaffrey, San Francisco 49ers.
21.
Incorrect. Terry McLaurin, Washington Commanders.
81.
Incorrect. Christian McCaffrey, San Francisco 49ers.
23.
Correct. Donovan McNabb, Philadelphia Eagles.
5.
Correct. Darren McFadden, Oakland Raiders.
27.
Incorrect. Terry McLaurin, Washington Commanders.
83.
Incorrect. Darren McFadden, Oakland Raiders.
3.
Incorrect. Terry McLaurin, Washington Commanders.
Damn, 84.
You're in the 80s. It happens. It's one of the most common mistakes. We just grew up with wide receivers in the 80s, and there really aren't that many of them anymore. Number 17, Terry McLaurin with the Commanders. McFadden with the Raiders, number 20. That was the one you missed there. But you got McCaffrey with 23, and you got McNabb with 5.
Yep.
So you got 2. Solid answer. We'll see if it holds up. I would say it's got a chance, but it is beatable, and we'll see if Isaiah and Wake Forest can beat it. Isaiah, are you there?
Yes.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL players that were born in the last week of November, NBA players, all Charlotte Hornets and Bobcats of the last 20 years, or NHL Hurricanes only.
NFL, born in the last month of November.
All right.
Or week.
Yep. I'll read you the player's name and their team. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. 1 pass if you need it. You need 3 for the win. Any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Russell Wilson, Pittsburgh Steelers.
6.
Incorrect. Bo Jackson, Los Angeles Raiders.
41.
Incorrect. Russell Wilson, Pittsburgh Steelers.
12.
Incorrect. Bo Jackson, Los Angeles Raiders.
Half.
J.C. Horn, Carolina Panthers.
8.
Correct. Stephon Diggs, Houston Texans.
4.
Incorrect. Russell Wilson, Pittsburgh Steelers.
9.
Incorrect. Bo Jackson, Los Angeles Raiders.
32.
Incorrect. Stephon Diggs, Houston Texans. Russ with the Steelers wore number 3. He wears number 3. J.C. Horn, you got that one with 8. Bo Jackson. Did you ever play Tecmo Bowl? Number 34, Bo Jackson. And Stephon Diggs, you only got 1 shot at that one, but he wears number 1 with the Texans. Unfortunately, 1 is not enough for the win, but hopefully you had some fun playing.
I did. Thank you.
I appreciate it, and try again another time. That means Anthony and Zeblin. Anthony, you are the winner. Congratulations.
All right. Thank you.
Do you have plans for tomorrow, or are you already free to go check out some great college basketball?
I have plans now.
There you go. Pair of tickets are yours to see NC State versus Texas in the ACC SEC Men's Basketball Challenge at the Lenovo Center. So enjoy that. Stay on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to grab from you.
All right. Thanks.
There are, again, this is my debrief, right? You can tell I'm a former quarterback. I always want to go watch the film and immediately break it all down. Darren McFadden is a very specific category of numbers game for me. which is a player who, if you asked me what their number is, I would have absolutely no clue. But the moment you said 20, I would have been able to picture the jersey, him running 20 in the silver and black. It's one of those where I'm like, there's no chance I'm going to get it, but as soon as you say it, I'm going to feel dumb for not having gotten it. That was Darren McFadden in that one. I said Darren McFadden. I was like, I have no clue. Glanced over at my notes to see the other side, saw 20, and I immediately went, yep, that's 100% it. Should have known that. There's so many weird things. And, like the caller did. I don't know how many people get a wide receiver, even if it's a modern wide receiver that's been drafted in the last 5 or 6 years, and immediately go 81, 84, 87, 88, because that's what wide receivers were in the 90s, and they just aren't anymore. Now they're all single digits and teens. So it's funny how our brain works when those lights get bright and the microphone is live. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, after the UNC-NC State game, there was a fight. There was flag planting, and there was a fight. After the Ohio State-Michigan game, there was a flag planting, and there was a fight. What is the solution? Is there a solution? Who should be mad? Why are you mad? That whole conversation next.
Upgrade your home with Baker Home Exteriors and take advantage of our financing options. We offer 0% interest for 12 months, same as cash financing. Our financing plans also cover siding and window replacements, making those big projects more manageable. Don't just imagine how your home could look. Use our interactive visualizer tool at bakerroofing.com to see your home's potential and get started on a worry-free home upgrade experience.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. I call games in Seattle and around the country, but I still spend a lot of time right here in the Triangle. When I'm here to see my family around the holidays, we always head to Buffalo Brothers. It's my go-to spot for stocking stuffers. Now through December 24th, buy a $40 gift card for someone special and get a $10 gift card for you. Now that's a deal, baby. Visit any of their 5 locations at buffbrothers.com. Oh, man. Now I want wings.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
In this year with a bang at Atlantic Spas and Billiards. Great savings on hot tubs from Hot Spring and Caldera. In stock and ready for delivery. Indoor and outdoor saunas from Finleo. Big-time factory direct savings. Huge selection of indoor and outdoor pool tables, shuffleboards, table tennis, foosball, and air hockey. A super grill department featuring the Green Mountain Pellet Grill. Elevate your leisure experience with Atlantic Spas and Billiards. Glenwood Avenue, Raleigh, Market Street, Wilmington. Stop by today.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. Not available in Washington State.
Morning. I'm starting my health journey with my new blender. I got 2% cash back on it with the new Cash Rewards Plus card from Navy Federal Credit Union. I get unlimited 2% cash back on these carrots, apples, bananas.
It's 6 in the morning.
Oh, I also got 2% back on these smoothie glasses.
I'm going back to bed.
Oh yeah, I got 2% back on the mattress. Sleep tight.
You can earn unlimited 2% cash back on all purchases with the new Cash Rewards Plus card. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead.
With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one?
We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery?
We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If you watched college football over the weekend, there's a good chance you not only got your fill of football, but you may have scratched an itch for some combat sports as well. A lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of foolish punches thrown at guys wearing helmets after games because of the rivalry games that take place the last week of the regular season. Oftentimes, regional rivalries, crosstown rivalries, even if they're non-conference, are played in that last week. And because of a trend that started probably like 5 or 6 years ago with Baker Mayfield, maybe longer, of planting flags if you win in your rival's house. If you are the away team and you win, you go grab a big old flag from your team and you try to plant it at midfield, which I'm just going to point out, if it is a turf field, you look like an idiot. You can't plant a flag into a turf field. You just slam it down on the ground and then it tumbles over. Here's my official reaction. Old school college football fans, who are the ones that are, from my experience, are most angry about the fights post-game, can't have it both ways. You can't hate modern college football with no loyalty and no love for your program and no willingness to lay your body on the line for the alma mater. You can't hate modern college football taking that away with the transfer portal and NIL making players go to the highest bidder, and then get mad when somebody wants to lay their body on the line to defend the honor of their home field. Go watch at the end of the Michigan-Ohio State game. Don't want to mix those. Michigan-Ohio State game. Jack Sawyer is a 4-year player at Ohio State, and he is being held back saying, I'm not going to let them do that to our field. He used more colorful language. He said it with more emotion. But that is the thing that you want, right? I will defend this house with my honor. That's not somebody that's going to hit the transfer portal. That's not somebody that's there because they gave him the most money. That's somebody that's there because they love Ohio State. And even if they lose the game, they're not going to let anyone disrespect it. That's the college football you long for, isn't it? They hate the rival for no other reason than they chose to attend to the rival, and they're nearby. They hate those colors. Right? What was it? Dave Doran said he can't wear blue. He took an entire color out of his closet, no longer in his color wheel. UNC and NC State, by the way, the flag planting, that's just the spark now. Remember they fought, I think it was 2018 after a 5-overtime game. NC State won. It was in Keenan. They scrapped after that one. They didn't need a flag to ignite the disrespect. It's a rival game. Emotions are high.
Heck, we saw Duke and NC State get into a fight in a football game. They hadn't played each other in like 6 years.
True. There was I grew up in Hawaii, for those of you that don't know that. we used to go to the Hawaii Bowl. It was on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day every year. We'd open presents, then we'd go to the Hawaii Bowl. And there was a streak of like 2 or 3 consecutive years. The Hawaii Bowl ended with a fight, like a melee.
Yeah.
It didn't even have to be rivals. Like bowl games, you're not playing against somebody you play often. Someone else from a non-conference, it just always ended in a fight. College football is a sport that often blurs the line between the physicality of the game and the aftermath. How about this? I played college. I played at the University of Delaware, and we had a rival against Villanova, which, by the way, I think I might be, and this is not good for Delaware, the last quarterback to beat Villanova for Delaware in the fall ever, because Delaware is now jumping up to FBS, and we haven't beaten them in the 10 or 12 years since I played.
There you go.
But hey, anyone from Villanova out there, I've got one over you. You got nothing on me. There you go. But there was a trophy. They called it Battle of the Blue. And there was a trophy, and it was a football painted blue. And guess what we did after we won? You go grab the trophy, and you rub it in their face. And you show it, and you put it on your sideline, and it's a thing. It's the flag, the trophy, the celebration, whatever it is. You want to rub it in your rival's face. It's part of being a winner. And if they get frustrated and want to fight, that's part of their response. There is a line you can't cross. I would say it's physical violence, but it's hard to not cross that line after a physical, emotional game. It's hard. My head coach just took the Temple job, by the way. Bouncing up, making more money, good for coach. But I remember vividly in a locker room where he said he would have beat up the other team's coach. The head coach, he's supposed to be the one calming us down, got so into a rivalry game, this one against Towson, where the opposing team's coach gave him what he considered a dead fish handshake after the game. We won, went up for the post-game handshake. He didn't feel like it was a respectful enough handshake. All of a sudden, near melee ensued. Snowing out. I knew the quarterback on the other team, tried to go say hi. Police officer jumped in between us. Get back to your sides. We were like, no, we're the quarterbacks, bud. Go spend your energy breaking up someone else. We're not going to do anything over here. We're going to discuss defensive coverages. But the coach, we get in the locker room after that, right? Broken up, pushing, shoving, all that stuff. We get in the locker room. First thing coach says is, if they would have let me, I would have beat his bleeping bleep. And everyone's like, woo! We didn't lose the rest of the year. I don't know if that's the reason, but it happens. There's emotions. Here's how you deal with it. You punish people that cross the line. Crazy, right? Player throws a punch. I know what would have happened on my team. All off season. 5:30 in the morning. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Anytime you're on campus, you are doing stair steps. You have a medicine ball over your head and you're on the stair stepper. And you get punished when you do dumb stuff. We have to change everything, straight to the locker room, do away with flags on the sideline. There has to be big, major fines. Sure, fine the team. I don't know how you think that stops players from throwing punches. You think some defensive back that absolutely did not have to pay that fine at all, next time he feels disrespected and like he's got to stand up for his family, his brotherhood, is going to be like, nope. I don't know. They had to pay tuition money last time. It's not going to stop anything. Coaches have to understand where the line is, and you have to punish the players when they cross it. Next time, you hope they don't cross the line. And you look at the coach on the other side and say, hey, your guys crossed the line there. I'm trusting you to take care of that. There has to be some level of, these are adults. If you are somebody that goes against what should be done, you pay the consequences. And by the way, sometimes coaches make you pay the consequences with like an attaboy. Like, hey, listen, if they want to challenge us, we don't back down from anything. With that being said, 5:30 the next 6 weeks or 5 o'clock the next 6 weeks of Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, you're on the stair stepper. You got to pay it. Hopefully you're cool with that. I love rivalries. One of my favorite parts of college sports. I don't want to tone them down at all. I just don't want them to cross the line. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. I love Bailey's Fine Jewelry and their watch selection. I love telling you about Fox and Bailey, their watch shop located inside their Raleigh Village District location. But guess what else? I love helping you even more. So I'm not talking about watches right now. I'm talking about helping you get the W this holiday season. Go online right now to baileybox.com, right? And I'm sure you know baileybox.com because you're there checking out the watch selection, right? That's what I'm always driving you towards. But this time, check out the gift guide. Click on the gift guide. Click around the Christmas classics, diamond staples that everyone should have in their wardrobe, in their options, right? We're talking about maybe you giving a gift that helps you win this holiday season. Holiday hoops, cheerful color, which is described as an array of beautiful, precious, and semi-precious colored gemstone earrings, necklaces, and bracelets. Here's basically what I'm doing here. I'm a watch fan, right? I know which watches I like. I know what I'm looking for. I know the details. I'm not a jewelry fan. That's where Bailey's can really help you out. Walk in, ask questions. They're the experts. They'll help you out. Bailey's Fine Jewelry for you in the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, and for maybe your lady over there on the main showroom checking out their Christmas classics and their gift guide. It's all on baileybox.com. Be sure to check it out. And when you stop by Bailey's, let them know you heard about it right here on 99.9 The Fan from me, Tim. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 is wrapping up, but we have Overdrive coming your way. And Overdrive is going to start with, this is always, so we replay Overdrive, we replay some of the segments, some of the highlights from the show. There is always a little risk when we choose that they're going to be stale, right? That breaking news will happen. We talk about a team, in the next 2 hours, somebody tears their ACL in practice. Oh no, we didn't mention it in the segment. We're starting off with the UNC coaching search for football, and nothing is stale. There has not been a named hire in the meantime. So we will open up with UNC coaching search. There's some Canes talk. Don't forget, Canes right here, 99.9 The Fan, taking on Seattle later today. Storm Watch with Adam Gold to get you ready the half hour prior to puck drop. We'll be back tomorrow for a Wednesday edition of The Drive. Until then, have a wonderful evening, everybody. Enjoy the game. We'll see you tomorrow.
Tonight's forecast calls for Hurricanes hockey.
Natchez heads up. Back to Orlov. He scores! A 1-2 punch from Dmitry Orlov. It's 3-2 on Orlov, second of the game.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Now back to Slavin. He shot right on. Rebounds out in front. Chance on front. They score! Here come the Hats!
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending and Carey. Way back in the mid to late 80s, rates were all over the map, much as they are today. And what bothered me the most was seeing homeowners constantly chasing lower rates by paying upwards of $15,000 in closing costs each time. There had to be a better way, considering no one was keeping their new loan long enough to truly benefit. So it was during that time that Miller Lending discovered a way to offer a true no closing cost loan. With nothing charged or rolled in, customers